Crash Course DM.
Hello and welcome to Crash Course DM, coming at you today from the Collide setting with a new story 400 years in the past. I'm Josh Greenway, your dungeon newbie and the proverbial E in this PvE game. Today is going to be a lot of fun. I've sent out some options before the game and got some votes that I put together to make an adventure based on content from a book called One Shot Wonders by Roll and Play Press. We lifted it for use in the Collide, but they do have their own world setting you can use to plan adventures in. They didn't pay me to say this, but it is a really good book for building adventures quickly with a lot of good details, I hope.
They should pay you to say this. It sounds great so far.
It's organized based on like player experience level, adventure theme, difficulty, and type of adventure. It was super convenient for making this today and really fun to look through for different like options and inspirations. So you can check it out at rollandplaypress.com, and we'll leave a link in the show notes for you to check out. Today, I am joined by a new adventure party. Some of them you know, some of them you don't, all playing new characters. So let's go around the table. We'll introduce ourselves and read a little bit about our players. Shay Ingram.
Hi, everybody. It's Shay. Today I'll be playing Delta. Delta is a water genasi bard. He is actually born into a royal family, but left home a long time ago because he really just wanted to get in tune with nature. So he now attends Shadowbane University, and while researching some beautiful nature books, he met Ember, and he actually roomed with Maximilian for a little bit. They were roommates.
Oh.
So just, really getting into tune with like who he is and what's around him and all things beautiful. And in terms of the games, although he had left home a long time ago, he still has some connections, and he heard rumblings that they needed this very special water polo device that his parents actually have back home. So he figured that would be a good way to kind of get their foot into the door into the game. So he invited Ember and Maximilian along with.
That is fantastic. What's really funny about that, too, is I have another spot. I was going to ask you guys questions, and I literally had for you, what's the equipment? So I love that you just put that together.
Wonderful.
We also have Daniel Locke.
Hey, it's Daniel here, and I will be playing Maximilian Durash, the brass dragon-born roommate rogue of Delta. Maximilian doesn't really have the funds to kind of just go to the games. He did get the invite, but he had to work his way in, so he's actually working for Rogue Bull, which is the minor sponsor for one of the games there, which Rogue Bull is just this character of the Minotaur who owns the company with wings because he likes that wing motif. Outside of that, though, he's studying at Shadowbane as well. He's currently a sophomore in the Rogue division, but also is part of the Magic Club. He doesn't know any magic. He just does a lot of sleight of hand tricks.
And rounding out the group, first-time player at the table, Justine Ingram.
Hello, I'll be playing Ember, who is a fire genasi warlock. And I am at the games because I was promised to find out how awful playing water polo at a Winter Olympics sport is. It sounded like a really fun thing to watch a bunch of idiots do in the winter.
Honestly,
and that's a hobby of mine. So I'm really excited for that. I actually am not a student at the college, but they do think that I go there. I just like to go to different libraries and find people that will pay for me to go to things that I will otherwise have to pay for myself, and I don't want to do that either, so thank you.
Wow, I'm super excited for this adventure today with you all. Justine, this is your first time playing D&D at all ever, right?
Yes, everyone else in my house has played, and no one's ever invited me before, so I made Shay take me.
That makes sense. Well, we appreciate you making him take you and for having you here on the show with us.
Yeah, thank you.
Is there anything that you want to ask about D&D or check in on before we jump into stuff? I know we talked a little bit before the session, but if there's anything you want to ask about, otherwise we can just plan to hit the complicated stuff whenever we run into it.
That's probably the best way for me to handle it. Yeah. I am already pretty overwhelmed with everything on here. There's like 18 pages of things on this app.
It's brutal. It is absolutely brutal.
And I play Gloomhaven every week, so...
Oh, wow.
That's how you know your UI is overly complicated. That's the review. All right. Awesome. So some of my goals. So at the top of each of these episodes, as we all know, I like to set some goals for myself. So on one, I just really want to create like a fun environment. And since we have a new player at the table, I agree that new to D&D gets to be very intimidating and inaccessible. So I hope that we can put something together that it's like easy to step into. And then I also want to work on my own like balancing of like time management and time between players, so we all get some like equal time. And then I want to keep an eye out for opportunities to implement some of our homebrew rules if they present themselves. I won't go into it here, but I have them written down. And it mostly has to do with if we happen to get into combat. It's just around potions and what happens if people move next to each other. But we'll worry about it when we get to it. So with that, I'm going to kick things over to past Josh, and he's going to do a full briefing with our listeners. And then we're going to get into the setting, and then we'll start our adventure finally.
Hey everybody, future Josh here. I realized in the edit that we stated things really nicely in the intro as far as my goals for the session, so I thought instead we would do a new pass at this and I'll just share some hopes and fears with you. I hope that they use a bunch of my custom items I made for them. I've combined a couple of adventures from One Shot Wonders based on their votes ahead of the game, and I hope I haven't, but fear I have, possibly overcomplicated things. I also hope I don't need to rely on Daniel to help me educate our new player, Justine, on anything about the rules and what actions she can take or how to think about a situation, and that when I do these things, I don't inevitably get my answers incorrect. But Daniel's also really good about chiming in on that stuff as needed, so it'll be fine either way. I'm not worried about it. I'm using notes from a tabletop role-playing adventure book, One Shot Wonders, and these notes are a little more sparse than I usually keep. I have beefed them up a little bit in my session notes, but I'm challenging myself to not prep a whole ridiculous amount of stuff ahead of time, and I'm a little afraid I might have a harder time mentally juggling some of these details in the adventure. But I'm excited to get started and see how this goes, so let's jump into this adventure.
Winter kitted up, endless fresh powder, steep slopes, good times, and energy beverages that are sick as hell. It's time for this year's Numen Games, brought to you by Numen Beverages, LLG. A weekend of magical and/or extreme winter sports is ready to kick off in the beautiful mountainous town of Numen's Bluff. Athletes, journalists, service providers, fans, and critics all gather from all over the Collide for the Games. This year's events take place at the site of one of the most tragic series of accidents to ever befall the Games, of which NBL assumes no liability. As a tribute to our fallen brethren and sestren, who fell last year doing what they loved, shredding the gnar, or waiting in line to shred the gnar, or standing under a lift that extends out over the parking lot, getting ready to go home after shredding the gnar. NBL lawyers would like to make it clear that everything they've done legally required to address the events of last year and don't expect the same thing to happen this year. Some of you may also be athletes or spectators, others looking to make a quick buck off of the other attendees. As a means of getting to the event, one of your party has been hired to deliver important equipment for the games to take place. As you arrive the evening before the big ceremony, forces have conspired to sow chaos, and rumor has it that one of the fallen brethren or sestren is no longer resting in peace. Find the cause of the disturbance, make things right, or their presence disrupts an opening night of epic proportions, or, even worse, disrupts the entire weekend of epic proportions. Save the Numen Games. End prompt. It is late afternoon, and you make your way through a mountain pass to the not so small anymore town of Numen's Bluff after days of travel. Flurries of wind and snow kick up between the peaks. There's a chill nipping at your heels after a long journey, and the mountain forest has given way to greenhouses and small homes that become progressively denser and denser, with more neighborhoods that lead into the bluff proper. It is a moderately sized town at the base of a sheer cliff face that extends hundreds of feet up above the town into the air. You have arrived to deliver a crucial element to the games. And so, as you make your way into the towns, the buildings are adorned with various advertisements and the slogan for the event. What is it?
Let's get 3 different options and we'll pick our favorite.
Numen Games. We're not responsible.
One thing.
Numen Games. Get that gnar.
2 things. Any ideas, Justine?
Summer sports in the winter.
Summer sports in the winter. Hell yeah. All right, so team, which slogan do we like the most that we see on the sides of the buildings? Numen Games, we're not responsible, get that gnar, or summer sports in the winter?
Oh man, weirdly enough, because we're doing water polo, I feel like summer sports in the winter feels weirdly accurate.
It feels very accurate. Can we do summer sports in the winter, we're not responsible?
We're not. No, summer sports in the winter, and then there's like an asterisk and a very fine print at the bottom that says we're not responsible.
Perfect.
Okay, love
But
it.
it's on all of their stickers.
Is it responsible or liable?
Liable.
They're
You're right.
definitely
It's-
not responsible either, though.
Yeah.
That's true. It sort of depends on the statement we're making. I think it is responsible, actually. I think it's, we're not responsible. ...
Also not liable. ... Whatever other words we can add on here.
Daniel,
Yeah.
sorry, I need to get into character names here for a minute. What the fuck is my problem?
My name's Maximilian. You just call me
Maximilian.
Max. Maxie, my friends.
Really quick, you mentioned, like, how are you all traveling as you head to the town?
Max, working for Rogue Bull, doesn't have the budget to travel the same way I think his friends do. So he's actually driving a very small, like, fuel inefficient wagon that is.
So is it just a wagon with a horse with tapeworms, or like what is an inefficient wagon?
It's just a manual wagon, so like he has to like physically walk sometimes.
So he's pulling his own wagon?
Yeah, he's pulling his own wagon, and inside is just bunches of cans of Rogue Bull of different flavors, sugar-free, extra sugar.
Your employers required you to bring your own merchandise?
No, I have to bring their merchandise. So yes, I guess. Yeah. But in exchange, I get a permit to go to the islands and see the game while handing out all of their merch. And any merch I don't give away, I get penalized for at the end.
Did they provide the wagon?
Yes, they did provide the wagon, but I did have to put down a down payment for the wagon as well. Just as like a liability.
So you have a deposit in case anything happens to it?
Yeah, but because I have no money, I have to like bet like years of my life towards it or something.
Oh, God. So you've signed a blood pact for this wagon.
Exactly. Yeah.
Blood pact wagon. Alrighty. And then are the other two riding with you, or did they have a different ride?
No, we've got kind of a medieval tractor trailer type situation because we're hauling a very large water polo temperature regulator.
Oh, that was going to... Okay. Yep.
Right.
So, Delta, tell us more about you're hauling the water regulator for water polo.
Right. So back home, my parents used to use this device to regulate the water to make it just a nice, temperate, comfortable, temperature, because that's really what you want to play water polo in. Here, I believe they're planning on using it to melt the ice into a barely manageable water that is constantly in a state of almost refreezing. It's really never been used in this climate before, and I don't know how well it's going to work out.
How is it looking like on the back of the bed of the tractor trailer?
It's real rough. I've never transported anything like this, and we didn't tie it down, so it's fallen a few times.
There's just a crack in the giant thermometer.
It's really bad. And Max is behind us, and he keeps throwing empty Rogue Bull cans in the trailer, and they're not completely empty, so some of them are leaking and getting into the regulator. So I'm not even sure if it's going to work at this point.
If my boss finds them on the way, I get penalized.
I keep telling you, this job is an absolute scam, Max.
Ember is there talking over his job quality. You smell something like incredible on the air as you start entering town. Like, what is it?
Cotton candy for sure.
Oh, dang. Yeah, you knew right away. So it's just like an air of cotton candy. And in fact, as you look out, you start to see that there are all of these different cotton candy vendors around with the different like Numen Games logos just being used to make the shapes of cotton candy. And you all find that you can pretty much anywhere get any amount of cotton candy that you want at any time.
Fabulous.
And so as you all weave your way through this city, you reach the check-in area for the games. And this is a large warehouse just near some lifts that take riders up to the top of the mountain and the bluff. It is relatively well kept, according to corporate standards. And there is a rolling door that leads inside, and you can see storage areas and some offices in the back. And there is a large vending machine out front of it that says Numen Beverages and has a little coin receptacle in it. Next to the warehouse, there is a large pen full of goats. As you look over at the pen of bleeding goats, a worker drops a box nearby. scaring one of the goats and causing them to scream and faint. And tractor trailer steers up. I assume it's magically powered. And then Max drags the wagon along behind it that's full of progressively less and less cans of Rogue Bull. And you find yourselves in like one of the little parking lanes to go in, and there is a pale human man wearing dark glasses, a puffy orange jacket, a gray beanie with cargo pants, and he's chewing gum while thumbing at a speaking stone and looking down, standing next to a snowboard that is stuck upright in the snow. He has not noticed your approach. Is there anything that you all want to do or say or get into?
Yeah, I'd like to address him, and I'll say, excuse me, sir, excuse me, I'm here delivering the water polo temperature regulator. Where should we drop this off?
Oh, hey! Go ahead and make a perception check.
Oh, wow, so quick. 5.
Awesome. Yeah, he seems like a cool, confident dude when you roll up to meet him. Hey, glad we all made it. Hey, everybody. Name's Radley Egan. I'm the one who booked you all. We've been waiting all day for this temperature regulator. It's so great you got it here. You know, couldn't put it on without you. You're great. Love this. I know I don't say it enough, but good job. Great time seeing you all. You have any trouble on your way here, wherever you're from?
Yeah, it was a pretty tumultuous journey, Radley, if I'm being completely honest.
Oh, tell me all about it. And he's kind of looking down at his speaking stone at the same time, not fully engaged.
Just the roads are in terrible condition. You can tell nobody's really taking care of anything out here. And I just think you would really benefit from maybe a conservationist on the site to make sure that the lands are being kept up in proper conditions.
Oh, wow. That is crazy. You know, we don't have the budget, but we've got some intern spots in. If you're looking to get a volunteer, we've got kind of low staff this year. So if you're trying to help fix some roads, bro, we got some spots for you.
Don't you guys make like $2.5 billion off this event every year?
I'm not at liberty to discuss our financials right now, but thank you so much for that's a great question. Sorry, what's your name? Go ahead and make a perception check, Ember.
23.
Wow.
Fuck. What did you roll?
19.
Well, okay. As you look at him and he starts talking to you, Ember, you see that Radley's jacket is brand new. Like there is still a tag on it. The snowboard has never been used. And the clothes under his jacket are not for this weather. Like he's got like cotton gloves on and like cargo pants. And he is trying really hard to look cool. And he's maybe not an entirely capable human. You clock pretty quickly that he is like a figurehead of sorts.
Whose son are you?
His face goes really red and he's like, I don't know what you're talking about, but anyways, yeah, the Numen Beverages is a family-owned business. And so sometimes family does... Can I help you? Like, what's your deal?
I wouldn't recommend trying to lie to her. She's majoring in deception at Shadowbane College.
That's not what deception means. As Maximilian finally drags his wagon through the snow and catches up to you all. That's the 5th time I've said it on this journey.
Hey, bud, you're breathing really hard. I didn't know dragonboards could sweat.
It just crystallizes and just falls off of him. I'm with Rogue Bull. We bought a small table to set up and give away our free drinks and also sponsor one of the games, the Frost Planks game.
I told you could borrow my car.
Dang it. Me and my own inability to think twice after signing contracts.
Max, didn't you say you're liable for anything you don't sell, but you just said they're free drinks?
Yup, I have to give them away, but if I don't give them all away, then I get back charged for them that haven't reached someone else's hand.
Bud, you might want to recheck your contract. Selling is not given away.
Oh my gosh.
Max.
Anywho, our little shitty table we got for you in the back of the court there, it's not quite set up yet. We got a couple hours this afternoon before it's going to be available. But yeah, you could just start loading those cans up here on the dock, and then you can unload them over to the table later once we get it set up.
Got it. And he starts taking out one by one and then just starts loading them and stacking them up very neatly on the dock.
As you start doing this, a loud clattering noise happens, and you all spin and turn as a young gnomish man comes barreling around the corner and overturns one of the cotton candy carts in his wake. There's another small, younger gnome lady cursing and shaking her hands at him as he runs by. Watch it! What are you doing? His brown robes trail behind him as he runs, revealing blue overalls and a brown linen shirt underneath.
Crashes through my summer edition display. I just put that up.
Oh, sorry. That's my bad. He skids to a stop after crashing through Maximilian's cans in front of the party, wiping streams of sweat from his forehead, panting. You also see an amulet of Torm dangling around his neck. And he interrupts the party and says, "By Torm! Radley, you got to do something to dead walk among us." And Radley spits his gum out into the snow. "Pebble! Hey, man, you're back quick. Okay, I hear you. All right, I'm receiving the undeadness of the situation, but you could fix it, right? Don't put a damper on the party tonight, man. You know we can't move it. Plus, my uncle's really mad. Plus, it could be really inconvenient for us this weekend. You're all spiritual now, right? You're like a brother of Torm." And the little gnome man presses his fingers into his brow and says, "Look, I'm an aspirant of Torm. I can't even cast spells yet. I joined yesterday. There's a whole school you have to go to. I'm still the same scapegoat tender I've always been." I hear you, and I receive that information. And then he stops interfacing with, Radley stops interfacing with him at all and turns to the party and is like, "Hey, team, maybe one last rally before the games, right? You guys want to do me a solid and figure this dead situation out?"
I really don't want to help the Nepo baby.
"I can pay you your going rate."
We turn to Pebble and be like, "What's going on, Pebble?"
Yeah, can we deal with you and not this guy?
Yeah.
"That's fine. I'm with it. I hear you. I'm receiving the rejection. That's great. You know what? I've actually got to go get all the goats outfitted for their sweet outfits for the events, opening ceremonies later. So
Can I talk to the goat?
You absolutely can talk to the goat." So as Radley walks away, he's like, "Yeah, Pebble's here. You just make sure you get them some like energy drinks, the ones we give the athletes, if they'll help us out. And yeah, listen." And he's just like already on his speaking stone talking to somebody else. And then Pebble just yells at him in the distance, "Stop trying to put the uniforms on my goats, Radley. They hate it." And he turns to your party and says, "I'm so sorry about him. It's Nepo baby is right. He's absolutely the worst. So I'm an aspirant of Torm, but that aside, I'm the scapegoat tender for Numen Beverages, at least for the rest of this season. I'm responsible for them to make sure that they're all okay and doing well. They're mostly used for if someone needs to get out of a tight spot, like a lost hiker or a politician or something, they can come get one, and we have them available. The problem we have right now is it appears that some of the evil, there are skeletons walking around at the site of the terrible accident that happened last year that we're not supposed to refer to."
As an accident? Or
It was a happening, I guess. Whatever the corporate says we say. Anyways, I'm not good at the corporate stuff.
Did you say evil?
I didn't mean to. It was a slip of the tongue.
Can I make a perception check?
Yeah.
20.
Wow. No, yeah, he's being very sincere.
Okay.
It was an honest slip of the tongue, but he doesn't necessarily know that the skeletons that he saw are evil.
Okay. Hey, I get it, man. Sometimes I say the wrong thing too. So like, we're all just on this journey through life together and we're doing the best we can, man. I get it.
You have a really calm demeanor after talking to that other jackass all day. This is great.
Oh yeah. Speaking of which, he threw his gum in the snow and it really upset me. So I'm gonna go get that and throw it away.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, that doesn't actually biodegrade. He gets those that are made mostly out of oils. Ember, were you going to talk to a goat?
Yes, please.
Okay, yeah, great. So you cast Speak with Animals and you walk up to one of the scapegoats that are in their pen. And how do you approach? What would you like to say?
I think I can just speak to animals.
Yeah, it's just I think it's a cantrip, right?
Oh, that's cool. But I have to roll?
No.
No, I get. Okay.
No, there's not a roll for that.
Probably have to
no,
edit
don't. So definitely feel comfortable asking any level of questions. It's not silly.
Sometimes we'll ask if we can roll like the evil thing right there. I was like, I don't know if that was a slip up of the character or like Josh just said the wrong thing. So it's like kind of metagaming almost.
Yeah, and sometimes we'll just ask Josh to name things for us.
Yeah.
Just over and over again. Yeah. Like, what's the name of the goat?
I guess we're going to find out. Do you speak to the goat?
Yeah, I'm going to talk to all of the goats.
Oh, all of the goats. Okay, cool.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
how many goats are there?
100.
Oh God.
Jesus.
Oh, there's only 25 goats.
Okay. What is the Nepo baby having you guys do?
As you speak at these goats, several of them freak out at being spoken to by another being and they faint.
There you go.
And then the rest of them speak in like a weird unison. What was the question again?
What is the Nepo baby having you do?
He's putting us in costumes to run the opening ceremonies down the slope.
Okay. Can you do me a favor?
Probably, but we're is it escape related? We're very good at that.
Yeah, I would like you to escape and I would like you to eat all of his clothes.
Make an animal handling check.
Roll a d20.
What's the 14?
You see that a few of them look thoughtful and then they're like, that sounds like a plan. And they go eat through the side of the fence that's nearest to the warehouse, like directly into his office. And you hear them starting to scuffle around and start destroying his office area looking for his clothing.
Oh no, I want them to eat the clothes he was wearing.
Oh. So yeah, they break out of the pen and they go chasing off after to chase him down to go
Hell
eat
yeah.
his clothes.
No
Thank
more
you.
scapegoats for anybody. Everyone's just screwed on the mountains.
No, only 5 of them went.
Okay.
Oh, I have to make a note of that because I love that. Okay.
That's the other
Scapegoat.
game that we didn't choose. That's where they went. We found out now what the cause of that was.
Right.
Okay, awesome. So you have sent a handful of scapegoats after him. Anything else that you want to check with the goats about while they're talking to Pebble?
No, I'm thoroughly entertained. Thank you.
Okay. Cut back to the conversation with Pebble. You just see Ember go over and just like bah at a few of the goats, and then you see several of them just break out of the side of the pen and go off after the direction that Radley went.
My other cans, no.
Deception.
That's not what that means.
Well, that's not good. I guess it'll come back later. It'll be fine.
I start giving your empty cans to the other goats.
And that's well, yeah. They could technically eat whatever, but they can't have too much energy drink, or they'll be up all night, and it's a whole situation.
I think that counts as a giveaway or sale.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, perfect. Thank you.
Mhm.
Okay, so like, will you all help me with the skeletons on the slopes, or like I can't handle it? Look, I was there. I tried to deal with the situation, and one of them took a swing at me. I managed to knock it apart, but there's like a whole bunch of them over there, and I need help figuring out what happened. I'm not a fighter.
Well, neither am I, but I'm a curious mind, and skeletons, while natural, shouldn't be moving about on their own. That's unnatural.
I agree. That's a weird point, but I agree.
Max is just like face palming behind him, going, "What the heck?"
Okay, so here, if you'll help me out, look, the slope is over that way,
And he gives you some directions, and then he says,
here are some coins if you want to use the Numen's beverage machine.
and he hands you 8 Numen tokens that you can use if you want to get Numen Beverages. It's what all the athletes here drink at the games in order to gain boons or various magical effects that might help or hinder their performance in the games. So he's like,
You could just use these if you want. There's these vending machines everywhere. It's also good for a cotton candy if you want one of those, but they're not as cool. But they're still pretty good.
Ember's going to want a cotton candy. We need to save some of these tokens.
Mhm.
I'm going to use all of mine for cotton candy.
So we all split them evenly, I assume.
These drinks sound like steroids. Is this like a legal steroid competition?
Pebble?
Well, I don't think it's a steroid. According to the terms and conditions on the bottom of the vending machine there, this is not legally recognized as a steroid, and it's like a safe, natural alternative with those heavy quotes.
Interesting.
I'm into it.
Does that say it's endorsed by Joe Rogan? Oh, I'll pass.
Okay, do the two of you want the 8 tokens then?
Yes, please.
all right, great. And he gives each of you 4 Numen Beverage tokens.
I was going to give Ember my tokens anyway.
So do I just get 2 tokens then? Is that what that means?
No, you get 4 tokens.
Oh, okay. Well, if he was going to give you his anyways, then I would only get 2 or something like
Well,
that.
you can't divide 8 by 3, so it would be... This is
I'm
great
sure
radio.
Delco could figure it out. Anyways, okay, I go grab. I'm dead thirsty, so I'm gonna go ahead and just pop a couple in. It's like, all right, I just open and get 2 cans right off the bat.
Wait, so let me tell you what your options are.
Mm-hmm.
So you have your tokens, and you can get one of the following: extreme pitch. Your voice becomes incredibly high or low pitched or unrecognizable for 5 minutes. Air untamed. When you drink this and burp, you emit a gale force wind. Vertical limit. You shrink to a third of your size. Vertical unlimit. You become taller again by half of your original height.
Wait. I never reached my full height again.
They only last for an hour. Sorry, I meant to say that. Like, most of these only last for an hour unless otherwise stated. Krog Extreme, a specialty beverage from the Emerald Lake region, where you can keep the cap as a souvenir or children's plaything, and it tastes like unfermented wine, makes your mouth tingle, your feet tingle, and you cannot be put to sleep for 1 hour. Goodberry Crush. Offers 1 HP.
That one.
Comes in an eatable form of just like an orb-shaped container. You have to crush the whole thing in your mouth. There's also Brass Flash, which restores 1 daily use of like an action back to you, whether that's like Fire Breath or a Warlock spell slot or a Bard spell slot. You can get 1 back. But with that, your very next roll, not necessarily with that thing, but your next roll is reduced by 1d6. So there's a bit of a gamble with that one. There's also Hot Toddy, which is a drink with a kick, 27% alcohol by volume. It burns going down, but while you become inebriated, you gain a +10 to movement speed for 1 hour. It's also highly flammable.
Okay.
What if I'm already on fire?
Probably don't want the Hot Toddy then. Yeah.
Damn.
It just amplifies your fire. It just makes you more flammable.
Yeah, make you, I guess, more flamey. I figure we can figure something out if you're going to try to use it for something. There's also Original Colorable Beverage, which gives you literal wax wings, and you can fly for only 10 minutes. But if you're near anything hot, they deteriorate immediately. So,
Oh, great.
Non-original colorable beverage. The drinker becomes intensely energetic and gains advantage on intimidation checks for 1 hour. During that time, you can also crush any drinking glass in your hand or cans against your head without fail. My Day. For an hour, you become wistful about the way things used to be when you were younger. Also, 20s and 19s are critical successes in that time, and 1s and 2s are critical failures.
Oh,
Delta
cool.
does that naturally all day.
Mm-hmm.
Crossfade. You turn into you gain the effects of gaseous form for 10 minutes that allow you to pass through solid objects, but you're also prone to being blown around by the wind. St. Eddie's Slow Juice. You speak at half speed for 15 minutes. And then Puffgon. Mimicking the effects of an ancient rumored curse, Puffgon Lung, this drink grants you the ability to use Vapor Step 1d4 times as a bonus action. But there is a 1 in 4 chance that you're going to appear somewhere else randomly instead of your intended location.
Ah, lovely.
Yes, if you use it as a bonus action, then it's you just teleport. If you use it as a main action, you can also attempt to incapacitate everybody within a 10-foot radius of where you poof away from if they don't pass a DC 12 con save.
Okay.
Anyways, that's the huge long drink list, and I'll send it to you in Discord. I just wanted to see your faces when I read them to you.
God, that was fun.
Oh, man.
I'm just imagining this machine too, just like how many there are on here. It's like, geez, it's like a panel, and I'm just like flipping through the scrolls. Like, oh man. I'm picking up the Hot Toddy and the one that doesn't let me sleep because I'm a college kid. So
Awesome. So that is, the Hot Toddy and the Krog Extreme. Awesome. So you're down 2 coins. Okay, Ember. Which ones do you grab?
I'm honestly got the Hot Toddy just because it's keeping my hands warm in this cold, frigid temperature.
That's a common use. That's actually why I usually get those too.
Yeah, we have a lot in common, Pebble. You ever thought about working for a, Rogue Bull?
Have you ever thought of joining the Church of Torm?
Honestly, that might not be a bad idea. I've done a lot of things in my life, and maybe God is what I need.
I have been saying a higher power would be good for you.
Oh, yeah.
Just something to believe in.
All right. I mean, hey, I've never taken your advice before, or I either hear about it way too late, but hey, at least now I'll give it a shot.
I like to see you make your own mistakes to see if you'll learn from them, which
Yep.
is why I tell you after the fact.
That's very helpful, Delta. Thank you.
Oh, one logistical thing I will say too is your drinks, they will override the effects of one another. So if you do get multiples, you can't like imbibe 3 at once and be this crazy, insane,
okay.
roided out athlete. Yeah, they'll sort of wipe each other out.
I'll
but, yeah.
explode. Boom.
I would like the Brass Flash,
Okay.
and I want the Krog Extreme too. I like the tingling idea. Are you sure you don't want your coins back? Tokens? Whatever.
I mean, I didn't realize they were going to have vertical limit, and I've always wondered what it would be like to look at the world from a different perspective.
Yeah, here, you can have these.
Thank you, Ember. I'd like to get the vertical limit.
Awesome. Yeah, so you have a bottle of vertical limit.
I was going to steal the cotton candy anyway, so.
So I think you all still have 2 coin. No, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You have 3 coins left. as a group. I think one for.
But there's machines like littered throughout the area. So
Yeah,
we don't
that's
have
true.
to worry now.
You don't have to do all this now. I'm just.
All right,
I'm
so we
just
have 3
saying,
left. Okay.
All right, you got your drinkies, your road sodas, and you have directions for. Do we want to make our way to the memorial site on the slopes?
Is that where all the skeletons are? Well,
That
I mean,
is the spot. Yeah.
did Pebble give us any more info? I mean, I was kind of stacking cans, but
The information that you got from Pebble was that he saw the skeletons. He wasn't able to do anything about them because he's not really a fighter. He managed to knock one of them down, but he was swarmed by others, so he ran, and he couldn't figure out what was causing them to rise up from the ground. They seemed to appear around the same time. I'll give you this in character voice. One more thing too was they just started appearing this afternoon after there was like a slight earthquake up on the side of the hill.
Max finishes stacking all his cans, and he got his 2 drinks, and he's just holding the hot toddy in his hands, keeping warm. He's like, so like Pebble, like, are these guys just like the past athletes that used to be here? Like,
Well, that's the site. Yes, it was the memorial spot where we were. That's where the tragic accident was last year.
yeah, but are these like the athletes? Like, is like the flying squash there and stuff?
Potentially, yes.
Oh, okay, cool.
You'll definitely know if the flying squash is there. He'll have that long, stringy hair sort of hanging off of the skeleton head. So,
You buried them there?
well, no, the avalanche buried them. We just left them. Corporate said we couldn't move the bodies.
It was in the news. They just stuck a monument up there. They had a caster come in, it just fell out of the sky. It was a very weird memorial, but it was done.
Okay.
All right. I mean, that's all I needed to know. Any Delta, you're staring off into the distance.
Very excited to meet the skeleton man, Mac.
Honestly, huge fan of his work. Part of the reason I wanted to come.
To meet the Did you know this was going to happen?
Well, I know not this. I was going to go to the memorial site, but like the
I
thought
feel
that
like I need a perception check on my own team.
Yeah, go ahead. Roll perception. Yeah, roll perception on me. Go ahead.
Pebble rolls perception too. Oh, and he fails.
17.
Yeah, 17. I'll roll deception, but like he's not really doing anything. Oh my god, that was actually weirdly high. 16 plus. That's it's 19, but like you're so good at deception that you're like, this isn't how you deceive people. I'm just like, I'm just really excited to see this guy, and like the fact that he could still be alive and I can get a lock of his hair. I'm not saying that out loud. Hold on. I could meet this guy and ask him for his killer moves and stuff. I was just here to see the monument. It's part of the thing, you know. It's like a pilgrimage for people who like, you know, frost planking. It's a great time.
Okay.
Good save, man. Good save.
Thank you.
I didn't realize you had ulterior motive.
I mean, it's a once in a lifetime chance to come here, and everyone was going. You think like I would take on such a drastically like horrific job just to come to this location for no other reason but to watch a bunch of people play water polo?
I just thought you really needed money.
That's also the case too. that hasn't changed either.
Wow.
So as you all make your way to the burial site discussing things, you do see on your way that there are a couple of scapegoats running back, holding tatters of orange in their mouths as they're running down the road, headed back to the pens. And you do notice, though, that they have on like a cute little outfit. It looks like a goat in a skier's outfit type deal. Yeah, they book it down the road. So you head over to one of the lifts and it takes you up to the memorial slope area. And this is a spectator section that has been set up on one of the slopes near a large memorial of the, did you say frost board?
Yeah, or frost planking.
Frost planking, that's right. So you see a statue of a figure just holding themselves up in a perfect plank in the snow.
Yes.
As a statue, it's a memorial. There are flowers laid all around it. It's just under where the ski lift used to cross over, and you can see that things. Basically, what happened last year is the ski lift like collapsed onto this part of the course and injured and killed a lot of people. So there's a lot of different memorial things set up around here.
Is the monument just a recreation of what exactly happened to the guy in that moment? So he's frost planking and a lift falls on him from the sky.
Yeah, there's just a lift. Yeah, super tastefully done. Just a lift falling right towards his head, a lift car as a statue. There are various employees that are cleaning up trash around the area. They're trying to set up little folding chairs, and dotted among them, you do see see that there are a bunch of slowly moving, shambling figures just sort of casting around ineffectually. Every once in a while, they swipe at one of the employees, but they seem to be dealing with the situation and continuing to set it up. Several sections of the slope have become recently uncovered, and instead of snow, there appears to have been a landslide of some kind. And you can see that there are still bodies, like frozen, laying in the snow. Some of them are even fully skeletons yet, in various states of decay that have become exposed. And then again, you have several skeletons shambling around in the snowdrifts and the valleys, trying to get at employees. The employees are very focused on, I guess, meeting a deadline or something, and they just keep working around the skeletons.
It's kind of hard to tell the employees and the skeletons apart.
I feel like this is like a kind of a fitting image of like capitalism, you know, like they're literal skeletons walking around, but all these people care about is like finishing their job for their boss.
Cracks soap in a drink, drinks the grog extreme.
The Krog Extreme. Okay. It tastes like unfermented wine. Your mouth starts to tingle, your feet tingle, and you are super hyped. You can't be put to sleep for an hour.
Speaking of my job, I start handing out drinks. It's like, hey, who wants Rogue Bull? And he starts handing them to the people working.
Give one to the skeleton.
Oh, I do give one to the skeleton.
As you hand it to the employees, they all like politely look at you, read the label, and be like, oh, and as soon as you turn around, they set it down in the snow. They're not taking it, but you go to hand it to a skeleton.
Yeah. I'll hand him the Baja Berry.
Oh, you're handing him one of your drinks.
Yeah, the Rogue Bull one.
Okay, cool. As you hand this skeleton your Rogue Bull Baja Berry edition, go ahead and make a performance or persuasion with disadvantage.
Well, that's a 3.
Ooh,
and that's a
good.
15, so that's a 3 plus 4, 7.
7. As you go to hand the skeleton your Rogue Bull beverage, you see that it swipes at you.
Yeah.
Does a 10 hit?
No.
So it swipes at you and it just ends up knocking the can out of your hand.
No.
And it doesn't make any noise. So it just like it makes a weird like clacking like sound at you. What do you do next? You've got this skeleton that's now paying attention to you and trying to attack you.
Does he look like the flying squash?
No.
Oh, darn.
Actually, make a history check.
No. 4.
Yeah, no, it's not the flying squash.
Can I give him inspiration?
To see if it's the flying squash.
No, just because the skeleton's about to go after him,
I
right?
see. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Right now, basically what's happening is Maximilian is kind of in pseudo combat with a skeleton. So what do our other two adventure? You're giving inspiration to him?
I'm just going, Max, you got this, man. If you can't defeat a skeleton, then that doesn't make you any less of like a valuable person.
Why are you just assuming I'm going to lose?
I'm not. I'm just saying if that's what happens. If you do win, then obviously you'll hold value for yourself. But if you don't, your value doesn't lessen.
He ponders that for a moment and then gets like sucker punched for a second.
Yeah. So as you're pondering, let's see. The skeleton does hit you. There's a 17 hit.
Yeah,
Okay,
definitely.
cool. Yeah. So, oh, okay. That's not bad. 3 damage.
You know what, Delta? That definitely eases up this combat.
Oh, I'm just trying to take the pressure off of you.
Yep. Also distracting me. Great. Clearly the skeleton's not up to talking, right?
Yeah. The skeleton does not appear chatty.
He doesn't appear chatty. Okay, cool. Since he's not chatty, I'm like, well, I pull out the Rogue Bull branded rapier that I was given as part of the company. And I'm like, time to get to work.
Okay. Are you going to make it attack?
I was going to get into initiative, but yeah,
I'll let you have one more attack and then we're going to do initiative with everybody because
Sick.
he took a swing at you while you.
All right, I'll poke him.
It's a 3.
I'm going to say that's probably not going to hit because it's a +4, so that's a 7.
Go to jab at him, but you go right between 2 ribs and you don't actually hit any skeleton.
Dang it.
Everybody roll for initiative.
5.
15.
Ooh, 12.
Awesome. So the skeleton is going very, very last. And Ember, you are up first in the initiative. So what would you like to do as you see the skeleton attacking Max?
Can I try to charm it?
Let me double check. Yeah, it's not immune to charm. Which I guess I didn't have to tell you that. But yeah, you can try to charm it. Also, how does charm work? I think it makes a saving throw. Is that right?
Is it a spell that you're using?
Yeah. It says it does so with advantage if your companions are fighting it. And it's charmed until the end or until you guys do something harmful to it?
Oh, is this charm person? Is that the spell?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so it kind of just likes us, but does it have a saving throw on it specifically for you?
It says that, yes.
Yeah, so it gets to make a wisdom saving throw with advantage, and it looks like it's a wisdom save of 10. So he has to make a DC 10 with advantage since it's being attacked.
Yeah, so he's rolling. You don't have to roll.
Yeah, so it rolled a natural 19 on the second one there. So the skeleton, you go to cast Charm Person on the skeleton. What is your cast? What does it look like when you try to Charm Person the skeleton? Is you just like say something like whisper sweet nothings into its not ear, or
Does your fire erupt in a certain way? How does your spell casting look? Yeah.
and what's the flavor?
I didn't tell it to stop. I just go, will you please knock it off?
And it just stares at you for a second after you tell it to please knock off, and then it still doesn't speak. And it turns back about like it's still going to keeping on with attacking at Maximilian. So is that all you want to do with your turn?
Yeah.
Okay, you
Appreciate the support, guys.
You're so welcome.
All right, so next in the initiative is Delta.
All right. Max, I don't mean to undercut your confidence, but I'm going to step in here and try to fight the skeleton. This doesn't reflect on you or your ability.
I understand. Please just don't get it to stop punching me.
Okay. And Ember, thank you so much for trying to get the skeleton to stop. But since that didn't work either.
Sorry, I'm eating my cotton candy.
Where did you get the cotton
Ember just
candy?
has a cotton candy.
She loves cotton candy. I don't know the first time I saw her in the library, she had it too. It's intoxicating. Okay, yes, the skeleton. I'm going to try to attack with my longsword.
All right, great. Roll for attack.
Oh, does a 12 hit?
Just misses, actually.
Oh, no.
Any other stuff for your turn?
Nah.
You swing with your long sword, and I think you're still just kind of caught up in your accolades for Ember and Maximilian, and you just get distracted and you swing a little bit wide. Your whole heart's not into the attack. And then up next is Mac.
So he's just like, oh my goodness. And I pull my rogue bull rapier out of the skeleton, and I just strike at it again, trying to hit like the sternum or something. This time I get a 16.
Absolutely hits.
Yeah, okay, cool, perfect. And then I also get the sneak attack damage because my good friend Delta has finally stepped up to help me instead of just talking the entire time. I do 7 damage to it.
You do 7 points of damage. You knock one of the arms off of this skeleton, and it's looking pretty ragged already. Nice, solid hit. Now it is the skeleton's turn, and it is going to take a swing at you. Does the 6 hit? No,
It does not.
So
thank you.
it takes a swing at you, but it does so with the arm you just disconnected, so it flops around on the ground and
Picks
does
it
not
up
hit.
and swings it at me.
Awesome. So we're back up to the top of the initiative with Ember.
Can I produce a flame? Can I hit it with a flame? Is that something I can do?
Yeah, you'll want to. We're kind of doing theater of the mind, but we'll say you're going to need to get up to it and touch it if you're going to want to try to hit it with produce flame, because that's like you cast it on self, so you'd have to touch something.
Oh, I light myself on fire?
You're producing a flame in some way from yourself.
You're perpetually on fire, so yeah.
Yes, that is true. On the inside, though.
Yeah.
Is it possible for me to light my boomerang on fire and then throw my boomerang at it so I don't have to stop eating my cotton candy from where I
She doesn't want to walk up.
All right, yeah. So I will let you do this, but if you set your boomerang on fire, you will destroy it.
Okay.
So you can do this. You can do this once if you set it on fire.
Okay.
Perfect.
Do I add anything to that, or do I just tell you what it is?
Yeah, so I think that you have proficiency.
So it's a +2.
Yeah. So
20.
So you light this boomerang on fire and you send it sailing at this skeleton. Now, the boomerang does 1d4 + 1 of damage. So you're going to do that. And for fire damage, I'm going to let you roll another d4.
Ooh, nice.
1.
4.
1 and a 4. So you do 5 damage.
6, right? Because the +1 for the boomerang.
Aha, you're right. 6 damage. Ember, call your shot.
Ooh.
How do you take down this skeleton with the flaming boomerang?
Pull my boomerang out of my bag with my right hand while I eat my cotton candy with my left hand. Then I simultaneously light it on fire, and then I whip it towards Daniel's head or Max's head, and tell him to duck.
Mm-hmm.
And then as he ducks,
Where?
hits the skeleton in the head and gets lodged in his jaw and then lights his skull on fire until he burns, all his bones burn from the inside out.
Oh man, you burn down this skeleton into a pile of ash. It incinerates from the top down and just collapses into a pile, fully deanimated, and you have defeated a skeleton in the field. Great job.
That was so hot.
It is fire.
An employee just over a few rows back is like, heh.
Your partner's fire just melts bone.
She's really powerful, man. Deception.
That's not what deception means. As I pull out my on fire rapier and put it out really quickly, and it's like, okay.
Agree to disagree. But
All right. So what's going on? I know there's a lot of people working, but it's like, where are all these skeletons coming from? We heard an earthquake happen.
It's a little concerning that they're not concerned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to go talk to the cotton candy vendor and find out why.
Oh, hey there. Is there something wrong with your cotton candy? Can we get you? Do you need another one?
I do. I need another one.
All
Thank
right,
you
sure.
so
Yeah,
much.
we got you a couple here. I saw you took that skeleton down over there. I'll get you a second one for free. They'll just be one Numen token.
Really appreciate it. Here you
Wait,
are.
I thought it was free.
you just said free.
You said another one.
It was a second one for free. Yeah, they're not all free.
Yeah. That's a good though. I want a grape one and a blue raspberry one. So I'm really happy.
Fantastic. Yeah, here's a grape Numen N and a raspberry Games G. There you go.
Can I ask you a question?
You just did. Great job. You got another one?
I do. Yeah. Are you
Are you going to
always a
charge her
dick?
the second token for the second question?
Sorry, what was your question?
no,
I couldn't hear
sorry,
over the sarcasm of the guy behind you.
Yeah. He does that very rarely. Actually, you should enjoy it when he does it.
He seems so nice from afar.
He is sometimes very too nice, if you know what I mean.
Oh, I know what you mean. My spouse is like that. It's a whole thing.
Yeah.
Opposites attract. Sort of.
Yeah, he needs to work on it. Anyway, you guys don't seem concerned about the skeletons over here. Is this normal? Are they always here? Or
No, it's not. It's not great. We don't love it. It's bad time.
are you just paid really well?
We're paid. Yeah, we get money. So there's that. There's also deadlines. Don't move for dead people. Am I right?
Hmm. Okay. So
You
just
folks here? Are you here to check out? Are you here for the games? Or are you just?
capitalism is keeping your at bay? Is that what?
Yeah, that's a good word for it.
Okay.
Capitalist. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, that makes sense actually.
What a
Never
powerful
mind.
spell. Capitalism.
It binds us all.
Got it. That's it. Thank you for the cotton candy.
Okay, great. Yeah, you're just not going to answer my questions. That's fine. I'll
Did
catch
you have
up.
a question?
No, yeah, I was just that. Why are you here? Are you folks here for the games, or did you need something? This is not a pop and spot for tourists right now.
Really?
Well, with all the skeletons, yeah.
Did you advertise the skeletons? Did
No,
people
I
know
just mean
about that
you're
before?
up here in a pretty dangerous area right now compared to all the other areas where the games are going on. Just wondering what brought you over here.
Oh, specifically this area of the
this area,
games.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
I was very confused.
Right. It
Yeah.
seemed like you were
That's
saying the
understandable.
games in general were not
Mm-hmm.
a
We
popular
were
spot.
going to talk to the skeletons, but they don't seem very chatty.
Yeah, I saw someone try that earlier too. He got killed. So
Oh.
I just figured to keep my distance. They move slow.
Behind them while they're talking to you. Well, he's talking to the cotton candy salesman, Max, in the background, trying to find the flying squash, and then getting into debacles with the skeletons and running around.
Make an investigation check.
That's 11.
An 11.
Actually, I'm gonna burn inspiration for that.
Ooh.
That's a 13.
You don't find the flying squash, but you do find some chewed gum.
Oh well. Following Delta's example, I'm gonna pick it up and throw it away.
Okay. Delta Ember cutting back to the conversation with the cotton candy employee here.
I'm sorry, did you have a question for us?
Yeah, I was wondering why you're up here. That's all.
Oh, because you sell cotton candy and Ember really likes cotton candy.
You came to the most dangerous part of the mountain right now for cotton candy.
Oh, you mean this part of I thought you meant specifically your stand.
What is this conversation?
Okay, are you the smart one? Is that wait? He looks over at Ember.
Yeah. Thank you for noticing. I know it's not hard to, though. No, we were sent up here to investigate the skeletons, but they don't seem very chatty.
No, that's fair. They wouldn't be. They've seemed to be sort of grumpy after, I guess, the ground getting woken up and all the people coming by to dig the stuff off of them.
What people were digging what stuff?
There was make a persuasion check.
8?
Oh, you also get to temp HP because you brought that thing down to 0 hit points.
So when she kills stuff, she just siphons health. Or when they kill
Yeah,
stuff,
she
they
literally
siphon health.
does. Her Warlock Fiend thing is when she reduces a hostile creature to 0 HP, she gains 2 temp HP.
Dang.
So,
whoa.
so she has 17 hit points right now.
That's dope.
It just says I can gain proficiency in deception and persuasion skills. So
Okay, so that just means that you have like an extra +2 or something already on it. So it's
Okay.
already generated.
Yeah,
inside
it's,
the
it's
stat sheet.
factored in. So
I just knew that it said it somewhere. Thank you.
and that was an 8 though, right?
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah, I don't really know who it was. Company men, I can't really talk about it, but yeah, some people did come to check out the environments after the quake happened. Suspiciously fast.
Are earthquakes normal up here?
Never happened before in all my years of selling cotton candy on this corner of this mountain.
How long have you been doing that for?
3 years.
That doesn't seem like a lot. The way you set it up made it sound like you've been doing it for a really long time.
I like to seem important until people dig into the facts and realize that I'm just a cotton candy guy.
Do you sell cotton candy here when there aren't events?
You look behind him and you see there's like a cot set up and there's like a tent and he clearly lives out here.
You shouldn't place your value in your ability to do something for a long time. You're valuable no matter how long you've been selling cotton
Obviously,
candy
he
here.
sells cotton candy.
He said he likes to make himself seem more important.
He's the most important person on this mountain right now.
See?
This is great. You're all great. I like this party.
Glad we could help lift your spirits and your self-esteem. Is there anything else you could tell us?
Do that persuasion check with advantage.
Ooh. That's a nat 20.
That's enough right there. Okay.
And then a 2.
He looks shifty, like left and right, to make sure there's nobody around on this side of this mountain where there's definitely nobody around. He's like, okay, well, you didn't hear this from me, but it was honestly, it was kind of weird, like to see the earthquake happen, and then like within seconds there were all these guys down there digging through the unearthed bodies, and one of them had on like this giant orange puffy jacket. And just kind of kept talking like a douchebag.
The Nepo babies.
And yeah, it wasn't well done. They just sort of started dragging. It looked like the clothes off of the bodies of the things that were uncovered. And after they left, all the skeletons started popping up.
Did they use the clothes for the goat?
I mean, they just took the clothes that I saw. There were no goats. It was just people. What goats?
There were goats earlier too, and they had clothes on.
Oh, the scapegoats. Yeah. Wait, clothes for the scapegoat. Okay, that's weird. Emergency service animals don't really need clothing, but
Well, it was the puffy jacket guy. He was the one dressing them, wasn't he?
well, that's not good. Okay, I mean,
He got really defensive when Ember rightfully called him out as a Nepo baby.
no, she's right. He's absolutely a Nepo. His uncle is part of the Numen family. Like, he doesn't deserve his job. He couldn't even serve cotton candy. He flunked out.
Hey, what do you mean couldn't even serve? This is an important thing you do.
A tear comes to his eye. You're right. I should stop talking down and using the negative voices about myself.
That's right. No negative self-talk on this mountain.
All right. Max enters the cotton candy stand. He's like, hey, Delta, there's a bunch of gum outside I've been throwing in the trash. Same as the one the Nepo baby was chewing earlier. Also, like, every skeleton I see is just like stark naked without clothes. I think they just need
all
something
of
to stay
the
warm.
animated skeletons have no clothing.
Yeah.
The only ones that are not animated still have their original uniforms on. in the snow.
Exactly.
Oh.
Yeah, I think they just need their clothes so they can get some rest. It's
That's
cold up
weird.
here.
That's a weird, like, resting thing. What if we just light them all on fire? Isn't that easier than finding missing clothes?
Is it easier than finding missing clothes, DM?
I mean, there's a lot of skeletons. It's like an entire team of athletes, and they're not all pushovers. So it's up to you. You could definitely go on a skeleton rampage. Yeah.
Are you implying that the one that we just beat was like an alternative? He was like not the skeleton.
He was one of the spectators.
That was the fan skeleton. And then the athlete skeletons, you can tell because their bones are dyed weird colors that are reminiscent of the energy drinks they were drinking.
Yeah, I mean, there's like a Yeti skeleton up there doing some stuff that I don't want to get punched in the jaw from. So
We should go talk to the goat.
I think the goats are the right answer. Yeah, I think they know where the clothes are.
Okay.
You can 100% attack these skeletons right now. I am not telling you not to.
No, but I don't want to get punched in the jaw again. Max doesn't want to get punched in the jaw any more than he already has.
Delta doesn't really like to fight unless he feels it. He has to.
You don't want to light people on fire. You'd rather let them rest in peace.
I really would, yeah. I still don't quite get the connection of clothes and sleep. I sleep naked all the time, so I'm not quite sure.
You are constantly wet.
I am.
Yeah, could you stop leaning on my counter, actually? Because it's getting into the cotton candy.
You're melting the cotton candy. It's very...
I think both of you would be melting the cotton candy. It's like heat and water.
I'm on the inside.
Oh, okay.
I'm wet everywhere.
Yeah, so goats? I mean, I'd rather beat up Nepo babies than skeletons that did nothing wrong.
That's fair.
I need to find out more about those clothes lore, actually. It's quite a mystery to find out why the skeletons woke up with just because their clothes were taken. That's weird. I've never heard of that before.
I mean, I would think it's probably because, like, they desecrated the final resting place of these, like, spirits that are, like,
But the other ones were desecrated as well.
Which other ones?
The ones that you said had clothes on them.
No, I mean, the only ones who were desecrated were the ones that had their clothes taken away. The others just got uncovered.
We can test it now. There's some with like their clothes on. We can take them off and see what happens.
For science. And you see him, like, bundle up his, like, cotton candy cart and start stacking it away so it can't be damaged by whatever you're about to do.
Okay. So I go find a fan level of skeleton.
How can you tell?
I think you should find the one with the hair that...
Oh, shoot, you're right. Okay, I'm going to go find the one with the flying squash.
All right.
Level hair.
Yeah, let's roll for flying squash.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Okay, cool. Yeah, you go digging into the snow drifts and you spend like a little while doing it and you find like a few bodies, but no one is really...
Thanks to hot toddy, I can keep doing this all night.
Yeah, you're sipping on your hot toddy and you eventually do dig far enough down in that you find a figure that has an all-white frost planking outfit on. I mean, is definitely ready to shred the gnar if shredding the gnar is planking in a blizzard.
Yep.
And it's in all-white raiments, and you see there is like a squash that's got wings embroidered on the back of the jacket that the skeleton is in. It's got a black helmet and the big, huge goggle things on, and it's got a pair of boots on.
Oh,
and
sick.
You recognize this as the iconic outfit of the flying squash.
Oh, man, it's Shay White. I love his clothes. I love this. All right, let's figure this out. And I was like, all right, no disrespect. I love everything you do, but you are dead, and I need to see if there is a tie-in between clothes and you guys coming to life. And I just take off his clothes.
You just remove all of the clothes from this skeleton?
Yeah, all of the clothes. Like the undershirt that keeps everything heated, his like bands, all of his necklaces. I just pile them on the side.
As you take all of his clothes and jewelry and accoutrement off, the skeleton is surrounded by a swirl of grayish black smoke that winds in between the bones, and it does a weird, unnatural, like restacking of itself so that it's slowly standing straight up in front of you.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks at you with its empty skeleton eyes, looks down at its body, looks at you, looks down at its body, covers itself and looks super embarrassed. And it swings at you.
I have a pen and a notepad out.
Does a 15 hit?
Yes, it does.
Okay, it swings at you.
Just right in the jaw.
Oh my god, it does 5 damage to you. And then it picks up its clothes and tries to put them on again, and it immediately falls apart and falls down once it gets its like pants and jacket on.
Okay, I go flying into a tree and stumble down the mountain for a second.
Yeah, so you go rolling down the hill for a little ways and take a pretty good knock in the face from the flying squash. So you have found him, and he de-animated himself as soon as he could get to his own clothing again.
Max, are you okay?
Yeah, good. Did I get the signature? Hold on, I got punched by the flying squash. Why do I care?
Wait, you were hit so hard in the face that like there was a champion ring on his finger that had a flying squash, and you have a scar on your cheek in the shape of a flying squash now.
Wonderful.
You got a signature of sorts.
Yeah, it's just emblazoned into my scale. Cool, and I pop the scale off my body, and it hurts so much. And I keep it. I tuck it away. You didn't see anything. Delta, Ember. Stop looking at me like that.
Did you just pull a scale off of your face?
Who are you?
This is the cotton candy vendor.
Why did you follow us up here?
You didn't go that far.
Jeez. Hey, I really like this guy. He's my childhood hero. Anyways, I don't have to justify myself.
No judgment.
Yeah, no judgment.
Just
Delta,
like,
no judgment, right?
crouches behind the cotton candy machine.
I mean, Scarification is a valid art form in many cultures and communities.
It's not scarification.
So you did rip off one of your own scales. It just feels... It's fine. No judgment.
It's not like I do this all the time. This is just a
I
one
could like smelt that into a necklace for you if you
Can
want.
you really?
Yeah.
Okay. Do I believe her?
I assume that's a thing she can do. She's a fire genasi. So
Yeah, I trust her. Even though I know she's deceptive.
She just burned a skeleton from the inside out with a boomerang. I think
If she's trying to get some fuckery to take your scale away, though, you guys are going to have to roll off for it.
Nah, I trust her either way.
I do not want.
Okay. All right, I hand her the scale, and I'm like, yeah, please, thank you. As far as the whole animated dead situation down there, it seems like the clothes let them go back to rest.
Yeah, he's at peace again.
Mm-hmm. Shovel some snow on top of him and leave like a rogue bull in his grave.
I don't know if your boss is going to count that as giving it away.
I have a counter on my arm, and it's like not going down.
Yeah, you feel a demerit happen like in your soul.
And I go pick it back up and put it back in my pocket. I'm like, okay. But yeah, we got to find those clothes. And I think the goats that you spoke with.
I'm curious. Yeah, it seems weird that he was up here and then all of a sudden the goats needed clothes.
So we headed back to the warehouse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you make your way back to the warehouse, and you do see another goat along your way that is also headed back to the warehouse that has a little bit of like fabric in its mouth. It looks like maybe it's from the guy's pants. And you arrive to find that everything is disheveled.
Okay.
The tractor trailer, the trailer that had all of the rogue bull in it have both been abused greatly. They've taken some damage. And there are now skeletons sort of wandering around parts of the area here. The entire warehouse has been ransacked. There's things pulled apart, knocked down, and you find that there is one athlete skeleton and one normal skeleton that are in the warehouse, and they are attacking a door. And you can hear two voices behind it, behind the door, sort of yelling and crying. And you can assume that it is Pebble trying to console some fucking Nepo baby in that room. What do you do?
I can't believe that so many of them made it past us while we were on the mountain and we didn't notice.
We spent a lot of time in that cotton candy stand.
They also presumably didn't take like roads. They probably stumbled wherever. So you might not
fell
have
down the mountain.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Or I mean, they
It
were
just comically fell to pieces, and enough parts of a skeleton came down that it put itself together.
They are also professional athletes born in the snow or
I
skilled.
would have loved to have watched skiing or snowboarding, or I guess frost planking, skeleton.
That's fair. Mistakes were made.
We might have a chance to do that.
You do find that the warehouse seems to be under attack, so to speak, by what apparently remains as two skeletons that are left. One is sort of got dyed colors that can tell you it's like one of the athlete skeletons. The other one seems to be a normal fan skeleton.
I would like to try to soothe the skeletons by playing my flute, pan flute, and lute simultaneously.
Ooh, very feelings of you. Okay. Flute, pan flute, and what?
Lute.
Lute simultaneously.
Mm-hmm.
That's bonkers. Is that like, make a performance check. Let's see what happens here.
Do you have like gills you play them through? And then you...
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
What's the roll?
It's a dirty 20.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, he just hooks them up to each gill. He has like an individual like mouthpiece for them.
So yeah, tell us about like what do you do as you play for the skeletons to get them to...
So the way I actually do it is that I line them up so that I'm playing through the flute and that plays through the pan flute and through the lute.
Got it.
So they're kind of like end to end to end.
Wait, so you're using air to play the lute?
To play all three of them. It's a special water genasi lute.
Got it. Okay.
It's actually not, it doesn't look like a normal lute. It's just they like the fact that all the names end in oot.
Got it. Okay. Just real quick, tell me what a lute is.
I think a lute's kind of like a small, like stringed instrument, right?
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell what the bit was here.
I didn't know that until you started questioning me. And I was like, wait, holy shit, that's not right, is it?
So yeah, you play your stack of instruments. And are you like Peter Pipering it? Like you're trying to like get them to follow you out, or you're just trying to calm them?
I'm trying to distract them so they like come towards me.
Got it. Yeah. So you end up playing, like you play a song that is like kind of reminiscent of the theme of the company that made presumably the brand of clothing that these skeletons were wearing. And so they're kind of distracted and they go follow you away from the door. And so if you want, you can lead them somewhere.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll leave the warehouse with them following me.
Awesome. So you Peter Piper march out of the warehouse with 2 skeletons in tow. What does Ember do in this time?
I was very distracted by his loot flute plating. Very distracted.
Loot flute riot.
Distracted us too. Holy cow.
Does it work? It worked?
It worked. Yep.
They followed me. So I left the warehouse. They went with me. So it's you and Max.
Do we go just in case they get angry, or should we stay and talk to? Oh, we need to find the goats.
Yeah, we gotta find the goats and the
ask
clothes.
the Nepo baby where the goats are.
Nepo baby and Pebble probably know.
Talk to him.
Well, Pebble's in there too, it sounds like, and he might actually.
They were his goats.
They were his goats, so it's probably best to ask him.
Okay, so
We go up to the door, I guess.
yeah, I want to let Pebble know that the Nepo baby dressed his goats in dead people's clothes, and now his ghosts are haunted or something, and see what happens.
Oh, are they possessed by the extreme athletes? So they're all really good at frost flanking? There's frost flanking goats?
Also, I'm never heard of like Peter Piper, like the pizza flute player. Isn't it Pied Piper?
Pied Piper. That's what it is.
Okay, I was like,
Fantastic. Great catch. Glad you, it felt wrong as I was saying it. And I was like, this is where we are now.
I like how we all agree just because we're so naturally yes-anding each other. We're like,
The song I'm playing was like all of the different flavored crusts you can get from Peter Piper Pizza in like a jingle.
Fantastic.
honestly, that would work better, like a pizza.
oh man, that would get so
jingle.
many athletes to
Yeah,
follow you.
honestly,
right?
yeah, that's
Mhm.
exactly what it is. Yep,
Yeah,
100%.
Yeah, so much better than someone that like attracts rats.
yeah.
Yeah,
Or small
honestly.
children.
Flawless catch. Perfect retcon. Yeah, we're here. So you're playing pizza jams to get them out the door. And Ember and Maximilian go to the office door in the warehouse. And as you approach the office door, you do hear a series of loud thuds. And you can just barely make out a voice saying,
You need to calm down. This isn't as big of a deal as they're making it into.
and then another voice saying, and you can hear the ugly crying happening through the other side of the door.
So I'll talk to Pebble
Okay.
because otherwise I'm going to have to light the other guy on fire.
Probably still a good idea at the end of the day.
Oh, okay. Well,
Also, all my cans are ruined. Darn it. Like my arm is just buzzing right now.
I can get Delta to loan you the money.
Sweet. Thank you.
You're so welcome. Yeah, I'm going to tell Pebble about the fact that the Nepo baby dressed his pet goats. And
So you're just like slamming on the door and yelling through it?
oh, do I have to open the door? Can I send my servant to do that?
You absolutely can. So Ember has
We're 5
unseen
feet from the
servant.
door, and you still use other people to do it.
Oh, because I want him to scare the
I
Nepo
know. I
baby.
love that. It's so funny. It's so funny. Because like so far you've like chose not to move to throw your boomerang and light people on fire. So I'm just picturing Ember being this person who's just like, yeah, I don't need to do it. Someone else can do it for me.
I don't do things myself.
Exactly. And I love this character.
Okay, so Ember casts Unseen Servant. You send the servant over to the door. The servant slowly creaks open the door, and you can hear the voices on the other side of the door becoming clearer, and the Nepo baby is just like, oh my god, look at this ghost, there's something opening the door. It's just really losing his mind, and Pebble, you need to calm down. I'm sure it's not. Oh shit, the door's opening.
Wait, it wasn't even locked.
And as the door opens, you can see that they have been attempting to pile furniture in front of the door that opens outwards. And so you did save them from a situation a little bit by pulling the skeletons away. And as you open the door, they do finally see Ember and Maximilian. And we'll say that Radley faints. He's just like hyperventilating and overcome with emotion, and he passes out. And then Pebble goes, finally. Oh my goodness. What did you find?
So this douchebag over here woke up the skeletons by taking their clothes, and then he made your goats haunted by putting the clothes on your goats.
Wait, the clothes that he got for the goats, their costumes are from the skeletons?
I mean, that would be my logical inquiry. Otherwise, I mean, I don't know what else happened to them.
Oh, that's dark. Even for him, that's dark. That's gross.
To be fair, I don't think that he did the planning. It sounds like he was just up there with other people. I don't think he's capable of planning. You do realize, Max, that the bones that we saw earlier that are glowing with radiation are from these energy drinks that you just drank 3 of.
Wow. Well, like in for a penny, in for $1 or something like that.
Max is just glowing a little bit.
I don't think it's legal for them to pay you in those.
Oh, they can't pay me in pennies? Darn
No,
it.
they actually can pay you in pennies, unfortunately.
Oh, okay. Well,
Okay, so how do we handle this situation? Are my goats just haunted forever? Like, what do we do?
Are they acting haunted?
I mean, no, they're just acting like goats. Well, they
maybe I'm
kind of
wrong
don't
then.
scare them; they fall. But
cut to the goats. They're just cut back.
yeah, they seem fine to me, except they're all in these weird, like, skiing uniforms.
Do they look new or like they were recently unburied?
Now that you say that, they don't look new. I just sort of thought he went for like an off-white with uniform colors, but maybe it's just old and shitty.
Do they look too big for goats?
Honestly, I just assumed it was like, because you can't get clothes for goats, you know? Like, you gotta get them from somewhere. So that didn't really strike me as weird, but also, where are they gonna get clothes for humans here, too? Oh, God. I think you're right. I think he put the clothes on from the skeleton. Oh, their families are gonna be pissed. We can't let them find out about this.
The goats family?
Well, the goats' families surely won't be happy, or the athletes' families. I don't think any families want to be involved with wearing the clothes of the dead.
Goats are very sensitive creatures.
They are. They are.
That's why they faint all the time.
He nods sagely at this.
So what do we do? How do we solve? Where's your friend?
Let's cut back to the pizza piper and the skeletons.
Yeah, so as I'm leading them away, I'd like to imagine I come towards something, maybe like a stable or something, and I want to lose them. So as we're going, I'm holding all my instruments in one hand. I'm going to take out my vertical limit with my other hand, down it, shrink to 1/3 of my size. Right? And as I do that, I'm gonna like crawl under something, maybe I'm thinking like a horse stable, you know, like kind of crawl under the bottom of it.
The music gets a little high pitched.
Yeah,
The music goes up 3 octaves as he goes down to 1/3 of his size.
And hopefully lose the skeletons and make my way like loop back around and try to go back to the warehouse.
Okay, make a stealth check with advantage.
Oh, okay. 15.
Ooh, yeah. With your tiny size and how high the snow is in this area, you manage to shrink down while you're playing your instruments, and they all go up several octaves. And the 2 skeletons that are following you, they just keep walking straight forward. They just keep walking straight forward in a line and going in that direction. And they don't even notice that you're not in front of them anymore.
Perfect.
And so now you're hidden, you're a little shrunk down delta, and you make your way back to the warehouse with the team.
I'm assuming it takes me 3 times as long to get back.
Yeah, it takes you a while. So right before he gets back, let's cut back to our conversation with Pebble and the passed out Nepo baby Radley.
While Radley's passed out, I go ahead and rummage through his wallet and I pick out the Nepo Baby Reserve Express card and then just use that to kind of clear out my loan really quickly.
It's like very heavy too.
Yeah.
It's like I need you to make a strength check. It's solid metal.
Oh, this is not good for me. That's an 11.
An 11. Yeah, you pull it out and you are just barely able to use it. You're just barely able to use it, and you're able to square up your Rogue Bull account.
Yeah, you see like a spectral minotaur above me come back and just like release the other half of my soul back into me. I'm like, okay, cool.
But then it sort of gives you an option. Like, do you want to like get a bunch of other people to sell Rogue Bull for you, under you? Like, you could.
Ooh.
Max, no.
You're right, Ember. No. Maybe,
Ember just gives you like a fire slap to the face.
Maybe no. Oh, my scar wound.
Because where'd your scale go?
I finished your necklace.
Oh, thank you. And I put it on. Hey.
That's gross.
Where's Delta? I miss Delta.
And at that time, Delta walks in.
Pebble, scarification is a valid form of art in a lot of cultures. It's not nice for you to judge.
It's not scarification. I've only done it once.
Oh boy, somebody got into the vertical limit.
Yeah, it's kind of weird to like see the world from this angle, but I tell you, it's really beautiful.
I'm glad you're back, Delta. Pebble, we need to gather up all your goats and take off all their clothes and then give them back to the skeletons. Wow, that's a sentence to say. Yeah, but that's kind of the situation we're in. Then we can get the Numen Games going again, if that is even something the Numen Bluff wants to continue at this point.
Yes, let's, of course, they're not going to cancel it. It's just going to be a bummer if we don't get it. So yeah, we should definitely do that. Yeah, let's go follow me. They're all in the pen out back. It'll be fine.
And you all go out back and you see that all of the goats now have a lot of like different outfits and stuff on. Some of them like the same outfit across multiple goats, and they're all just kind of milling about. Some of them are still fainted from having heard a loud noise at some point recently. But all, did we say 25 goats are sorry, not all 25 goats. You see 23 goats in the pen with you. Pebble walks out and sees all the goats. And he's like, so here they are. What happened to the side of the pen? And he freaks out and sees the damage that was done when the goats escaped earlier.
I mean, that's so weird.
What? What do you mean you're bad?
That wasn't me. That was Max that said that.
Make a deception check.
That's not good. 5.
Yeah, he rolled an 18.
Look, I've worked with this Nepo baby long enough to know bullshit when I hear it.
Deception!
What did you do?
Do you know how he didn't have any clothes on? That was me. I sent your goats after him. My bad.
That explains a lot. I honestly thought he was on some kind of drugs when he was acting when he came in all naked and screaming.
Is he not normally on drugs?
I mean, yeah, but like usually he mixes uppers and downers, and that was like all uppers. It was a lot. Okay, so we have a problem because we are short 2 goats, everyone. I'll stay here and undress the rest, but if you could track down the final 2 goats, I think we'll be good to go here.
Oh, thank goodness. I didn't want to undress any goats. That's not my specialty.
I get +4 for that.
Oh, okay.
She has a proficiency in goat undressies.
Okay. Hey, Ember, would you mind asking the goats to see where the other 2 goats are?
I would love to do that.
Thank you.
Do I roll for that?
No, you can just speak
I
with
can
animals.
just ask them. Oh, yes. Okay. Do I ask my favorite goat, which is the oldest goat? It looks like a grandpa goat. And I ask him if he knows where the other goats are.
Well, these Ordens, they just think they know everything. So they got on the fanciest studs, and decided they were going to go out for a night on the town. And so we warned them, don't leave the pen, especially not with evening setting on like it is now. But they didn't listen, and they got. Yeah, they got grabbed.
By who?
There's, the dangerous predators in this area. I don't know if the people told you, but there's a chicken cobra nearby. And I'm pretty sure that's what got them.
A chicken cobra.
The chicken cobra.
Never heard of that one before.
Well, it's famous in this area for murdering goats.
Well, sounds like that's a lost cause.
Well, we did what we could. Time to head
that's
home.
the reaction that we had to it too. We just figured, 2 goats dead. What are you gonna do?
They don't stay in their pen. I mean, that's on them.
They were bad.
I love goats. They're so reasonable.
I'm sorry, did you just say the goats are dead? What?
No, don't worry about it, Pebble.
Wait, but what happens if they die while they're wearing the clothes?
Speaking of which, can I ask the grandpa goat, do you feel haunted in these clothes?
Oh, God, it's not my color. So, sort of.
That's fair. It really clashes.
So the goats don't necessarily feel haunted, that you can tell, but they're maybe not opposed to getting the weird clothes taken off of them.
Can you instruct them all to just take the clothes off themselves? At the very least, that means there'll only be 2 skeletons walking around.
I thought Pebble was going to undress them.
Yeah, I'm good for it.
That's his goat.
I've seen a naked goat before.
I'm going to ask them where is the chicken cobra lie?
Are you asking me or the goat?
The goat. Why would I ask
sorry.
you?
I don't know.
I'll ask Pebble. Do you know about a chicken cobra?
The chicken cobra is a legend. Those aren't real.
Okay, he's not helpful.
I told you to talk to the goats.
You're right. I can't talk to goats, so I don't know what they're saying.
The chicken cobra is it lives in a cave nearby. They leave a pretty distinctive trail of blood whenever they've captured prey. So I guess follow the blood, and if you lose the blood, you've gone too far.
Sounds easy enough.
There's a lot of blood around, I assume, because of the skeletons swiping at everybody.
There is, but you do notice like a trail that leads out from a part of the road now that the elder goat has pointed it out. And you can see little bits of blood and like goat hooves in the street that you can follow to go find where the other two goats were taken or dragged or went to.
I'm going to really quickly, if no one wants to use the last Numen coin, I'm going to go and punch in the Konami code on the drink dispenser and pop out a one last drink, which is the one that gives you like the extra action recovery or spell slot recovery, whichever one.
Oh, the spell slot. Yeah, that is...
That's the brass flat.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the one I have.
Yeah, you have one of those too.
Just grabbing the next one.
Have you
just in
even
case.
used any spells yet? I feel like you've just been doing Cantrip City, which is cool.
Charm person?
Oh, yeah,
might
Charm
be.
Person's a spell. Just kidding. Awesome. So, yeah, we have 2 brass flashes now, and I think a couple of other drinks still in the mix. Anything else you guys want to do before you chase down the final 2 goats?
No. Nepo Baby's just naked in a room, so I'm just going to leave him there.
Yeah, he's still fainted.
I do close the door because I don't want to see him just like butt naked in there. I'm like, eh.
You leave, you follow the goat trails down the road and blood and whatnot. Before too long, you do notice that it leads you off the beaten path and down into the woods a little ways down the mountainside, and you do find a small cave that has a larger splash of blood out front that also leads into the cave. And I assume we all go into the cave. Is there anything you want to do before you go into the cave?
Can I try to make myself throw up the vertical limit? Because I'm starting to realize that being small while wondrous is not very advantageous.
We have another brass flash and half a hot toddy.
Oh, that's right. They cancel out the other ones.
Yeah, so you
I
can...
also have that one that makes you tingly if you want that one. Or you can have the brass flat.
I'll do whatever you guys are willing to part with. I realize this is partially my own mistake by not keeping my share of the coin, so I'll understand if you don't want to.
Or you can try a rogue bull. I'm not even working for them anymore. Why am I still doing this? I put that away. I'm like, here's a brass flash. Drink something that's actually good.
Do you have to drink the whole thing for it to take effect?
Yeah.
I don't want to take one from you guys.
No, you can have mine. I'm not going to use it.
Okay.
I'm also not going to use it.
We just like
I'll
to
take them
spend
both.
money.
We just like the name.
Yeah, so you have 2 brass flashes and you feel amped as fuck, and you regain any spell slots. That you regain 2 spell slots, we'll say.
Perfect. I don't want to turn either one of them down and seem rude. So, oh, that's so kind of both of you.
He just stone cold double fisted.
Yeah. So while he passively aggresses himself into getting 2 slots restored by the party, any other prep you guys want to do before we walk into the cave?
Now I'm ready to go in. I just draw my rapier. I start skulking. I like sneak in, I guess. Actually, you could probably talk to it, right? It's an animal.
Yeah, can I call into the cave and ask if the chicken's home?
You can certainly try.
I guess I could call to the goat. Should I
That's
try
also
that
true.
instead?
You can do all 3.
What I got? I tried to call the goats. I asked the goats to please come out of the cave. So that way we don't have to go into the cave.
You hear a very faint, unintelligible reply, but you do hear a reply of a goat.
The goats are still alive, you guys.
That's good.
Yeah. I just heard bah.
Make a perception check, Ember, as you call into the cave.
12?
A 12.
Ooh.
Okay. Yeah, as you call into the cave, you hear the faint voices of like goats trying to say something in response. And then you also hear the sounds of a little bit louder than that, rocks falling and a low growl, very low guttural. Like,
But she can understand, or Ember can understand animals. What is that?
she can understand animals, but whatever is making this sound does not sound intelligible to her.
What's it say? I just heard a grrr.
It's what I heard too. I don't know. It's being really rude.
Okay.
I don't know this language apparently.
Did the goat say anything specific? I heard bah.
They are dying.
Oh.
Yeah, it's not good. It's or easier to collect clothes. I don't know. Maybe I can ask. Does it understand me? Maybe if I don't. Can you just throw the goat's clothes out to us, please?
No response.
Well, now it's just rude. What's it going to do with those clothes?
Build a nest? What do chicken cobras do? How do they live?
Yeah, how big are they?
They eat goats.
The goat did say that they eat goats.
Okay, but that it didn't say they eat clothes, so that's a plus. And if anything, if we have some extra skeletons looking for clothes, we lead them here. They'll find the clothes inside.
I also led 2 skeletons off, and they just kept walking. So that's 2 less skeletons I think we need to
I feel
account
like we
for,
balance this
probably.
out.
They're still walking around somewhere. It's going to be a
but
problem for
like-
someone.
I want to know the motivation for releasing said skeletons at your own games.
I think he might just be stupid.
Yeah, it sounded like a weird promotional thing that didn't work out.
We'll just go in.
Yeah, let's just go in and grab the clothes, make things easier, and then Father Pebble will get off our back.
Oh, maybe I should have stayed small. It would have been easier to sneak around in here.
Are we sneaking in?
Yeah, I'm gonna
Yeah.
stealth in.
Let's make a stealth check.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Nat 20!
Ooh, nice.
13.
Okay. 19.
Max's energy drinks finally hit like the peak, and he starts shifting, and he does the flash thing and disappears.
Just phasing.
Yeah. Zoom.
Max phases and you all sneak into the mouth of the cave. It's quiet. You hear like rock fall every once in a while. There are no lights, natural lights in here, so it's a dark room that you're entering. So you
Ember's
can't-
pretty bright, right?
I don't think she emits like an actual active flame.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Got it.
So she would have to like produce flame or something to try to light things up. But unless you can see in the dark, it is dark in here. And so you're not going to be able to see too much right away. But you enter in, it's cold, it's quiet, there's not a lot going on.
I attempt to listen for the dying goats' ba and then sneak my way that way.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm just going to say that you can definitely hear the really faint, like,
I can see that.
as you walk in, you see that the floor of the cave is littered with bones from various species, all of them relatively small. There's nothing like fully humanoid in here. And you see lots of very large scratches and gouges that have been taken out of the wall. You do see a nest over in one corner that is made of, it's mostly like hay and twigs and stuff. You do see that there's like a beanie that's been layered into the nest a little bit, and what looks like tatters from another piece of clothing that have been scattered off to the side, like they weren't good enough to be a part of whatever this nest was. So those are the things that you see, and there is a tunnel kind of leading farther back into the cave that the bleeding noises are coming from.
Okay, you guys. So, good news. I think I found some of the clothes.
Wonderful.
Bad news. Does anyone know how to sew?
No, I haven't taken that class yet.
No.
Is unfortunate. Do you think the skeletons will accept torn clothing?
I mean, they're like frost plankers, so probably all their clothes are tattered anyways.
Yeah, they're pretty known for like holy jeans and stuff like that.
Yeah, very blessed genes, so it'll do great.
Okay.
I do know mending.
You just said you didn't know how to sew.
I don't know how to sew. I know a spell that can mend clothes, though. I
Which
would.
he pulls out his credit card and has someone else do it.
I have a spell for everything. It's called Amex.
Do you have the Delta card?
Yeah. Yes, it has my name right on it, of course.
It's just as heavy as the one the Nepo baby had.
Can I try to sense to see if there aren't any evil baby birdies in the nest before
You
we walk
absolutely
over
can.
there?
Like sense good and evil or detect good and evil. Is that what you're casting?
Oh no, I'm just assuming these chicken babies are evil, but
So, make an investigation check.
7.
7. You don't immediately find signs of the evil chicken baby per se in the room that you're in right now, with the exception of the classic living things. There's nothing that suggests it's in this room with you.
Okay, so I think we need to go to we need to walk, I don't remember what direction it was, towards the nest to go get the beanie, and then to the side where the rest of the clothes are.
Okay. Just a reminder, these goats, they're scapegoats, right? So like when do you activate them and they just like pull you away, or how did that work?
Yeah, you can ride them to safety if they are, quote, activated
Okay. But
and alive.
oh god damn it. Okay. That was my other question. What if they're undead? What if I put clothes on them and take them off and then become undead? Does that still work? I don't know. Science.
Honestly, sound game theory, considering all the things we've seen so far. But
Okay. I can't see in here, so I'm just kind of like hugging the wall while phasing through it and trying to like find clothes to pick up. And maybe a goat.
yeah, so we'll say that Ember like helps you find the clothing, and so you all grab the clothes, and we're gonna go in step farther into the cave.
Is this sufficient for 2 people worth of clothes, or is it one
Sorry.
skeleton?
I
worth of
can
It's
clothes?
like
produce a
one.
flame in my hand, and I guess I could be helpful.
You can be, but you can also still see, so you can also not be helpful.
You guys, don't be mad. I just remembered I can do casting lights as well, or dancing lights as well.
Why would I be mad? Why in the world would I be mad? I am on so much energy drinks, and I naturally radiate light now from all the energy drinks I drink.
You do kind of glow.
Yeah, everybody can see Max in the room. Like he is perfectly visible, but nothing around him is.
I'm so worried for your health right now, Max.
So you're gonna cast dancing lights?
Yeah.
Okay, so you cast dancing lights. You illuminate this room. What do your lights look like? What are their names? Do they have families?
Proud of yourself for that one. My lights look like very very fancy regal sconces.
Hell yeah, like wall sconces, but there's no walls. It's just those floating around the room.
Yeah, they're just floating.
The room becomes illuminated with wall sconces. They emit a very bright, magical light, and the tunnel in the back of the room that leads into the rest of the cave. As it illuminates, you see a pair of like beady black eyes that sort of shy away from the light and push back farther into the cave. And you hear a weird like a noise as it scuttles back.
I assume that's the chicken cobra. Like, it doesn't seem like it's an animal. Does anyone have any problems if we deal with that? Like, I'm about to throw a hot toddy in there and light it up.
Oh my god.
Do you want me to help?
Yeah, teamwork would be great.
I don't know. Can I send something to blow it up as you throw it? Maybe this one. Hellish Rebuke?
That's if you get hit.
Can't do that. I guess I could just produce the flame.
So I take the hot toddy. Delta, is this okay? Are you cool with this?
It's not on me to. You both have autonomy over your own bodies. I'm not here to tell you
He's
what to
asking
do.
because you're wet. It'll get very hot in here. We don't want you to get vaporized or evaporate.
I'll stand back a few feet just in case. Thank you for your concern. I apologize.
Of course. That was. I thank you for verbalizing my concern, Ember. Teamwork. This is why we're all together.
Deception.
That's not deception. As I chuck it in there. Maximilian is a brass dragon, but he's like a lanky brass dragon and can't produce like his own flame properly. He just produces the gases. So with the help of embers produce flame, he just kind of like burps the entire essence of all the energy drinks he's drank this entire day and blows it into the hole.
Oh. So you throw the hot toddy into the room, and then using ember to spark your breath, you hurl a fiery burp into the room after the hot toddy. So first thing we're going to do is everyone is going to roll for initiative, and you're going to get a surprise round with this.
Ooh. 4.
3.
Oh, wait, technically 6.
18.
The first thing that we're going to do is as the burp fire breath enters the tunnel with the hot toddy, go ahead and roll 3d6 for me.
5, 2, 4, 11.
As you throw this into the room, you hear two sort of gutter like, and then you see a figure stumble out from the cave, all on fire, alight, and this horrific looking little fiend monster just kind of burns down into the ground and dies on the floor. And you still hear another voice or another like sound, like there's a second one of these in the background, or at least one more somewhere in the dark still. But you have destroyed one of them.
Okay.
Shit, I think you killed its baby.
Oh, dang it. I just killed a baby?
It's an extra small version. No, you wouldn't know. No.
At least was it a Nepo baby? I don't know. No, okay.
Ember, Delta, anything you two do before we go into normal initiative round for the surprise round?
No.
Okay.
Okay. Ember, anything from the fire warlock?
Oh, for the surprise.
Surprise round.
I
Yeah.
super misunderstood.
Like, nope, not doing it. That's fine. Yeah, we don't have to attack. That's cool. Yeah.
So you said this is a small little like baby chicken cabra?
It is a smaller creature that came out. Yeah.
Less than a 15-foot cube size, probably.
What are you doing?
Okay, cool. It's nothing crazy. In front of that, I want to cast Silent Image and create the image of that same chicken cabra, but alive and well and not
Oh
dead.
my God. Okay, so you're trying to catfish the other one, and this one's still alive?
Yep.
Is that okay? Got it. What are you looking to accomplish with this? What do you?
I'm just trying to distract the main chicken cabra.
Got it.
I'm
Okay.
thinking if it thinks its baby is still alive, maybe it'll prioritize trying to protect that over attacking us.
I was going to set a DC for what it would have to roll in order to be able to tell that that wasn't real, but it rolled a nat 1. So yeah, it's definitely at least distracted, and whatever is in there is distracted and enraptured with this image you created of the baby still being alive. Yeah.
Okay.
Ember, any moves from you?
Can I do True Strike to try to figure out what the big chicken cobra's defenses are?
Ooh, yeah. Read me out what True Strike is.
You point your finger at a target in range. Your magic grants you a brief insight into the target's defenses, and on your next turn, you gain advantage on your first attack roll against the target.
Oh, hell yeah. I mean, there's not even I think that's just, you just do that, right?
Yes. So Ember does need to see the chicken
Well,
cabra.
she can see in the dark, so she can absolutely see
so
it. Especially
Ember says, okay. Then all that happens is you just get advantage on your next attack roll. So like when your turn comes again, you just roll with advantage to attack, whatever you do.
And as you look and point your finger for True Strike, you do see this absolutely horrific creature. It looks like it's made of skin. It's got 2 bird-like feet that are huge and gripping. It's got a head with no, like, there's not like hair or feathers or anything. It's all just like smooth skin. It's got a huge gaping maw full of teeth, a very long tongue, 2 beady black eyes that are watching you from the dark. And it looks like it is rearing up to get ready to rush or to attack. And you cast True Strike and you give yourself advantage for the next round. So now we're into initiative with the adult chicken cabra, and we're at the top of the initiative with Delta.
I know I stepped back a little bit, so I want to move in closer to Delta and Max.
Okay.
I think I probably didn't move that far back from them.
No,
so
it's not even that big of an area, like less than 20 feet around.
Okay, perfect. Let's do this. I'm going to cast Heroism on Max. A willing creature you touch is imbued with bravery. Until the spell ends, the creature is immune to being frightened and gains temporary hit points equal to your spellcasting ability modifier. At the start of each of its turns,
Ooh.
Wait, spell attack modifiers or
equal to your spellcasting ability modifier.
your spellcasting? Okay.
Yeah, mine. So yeah, I'll just cast Heroism on you, so you can't be frightened, and then you'll get a little bit of my spellcasting modifier is +2.
You usually cast this on me before any big exam.
Yeah. Yep. And then as a bonus action, I'll use Bardic Inspiration on Ember.
As you go to cast this, or as you go give Bardic Inspiration and you cast Heroism, the chicken cabra is going to make its move from the dark. So it's going to use a multi-attack here, and it is going to go for Delta. It's going to make a bite attack at you first. That's not a D20. That's not going to help me hurt you. There's a 19 plus something to hit. +2.
Yeah, it hits.
Oh, +4 actually. Sorry. So yeah, okay.
Do you want to just keep adding numbers?
It's gonna do piercing. Damn it! It only does 3 piercing damage,
Okay, perfect.
and then it's going to make a claw attack at you as well. That's an 11.
Does it? My AC is 11.
Oh, if it meets it, it beats it. Okay, so it does hit on 11. Wow, hit on 11. Okay. Oh yeah, you're a bard. All right, so with that, that's a suckier attack. Okay.
With no dex.
Man, okay, 5 damage on the second one.
Ow.
Wow, I'm so sorry for you, Josh. I sounded so disappointed by that.
Honestly, me too. I understand where you're coming from. Up next in the initiative, we have Max.
All right, Max, seeing his buddy get struck by the giant KFC bucket, he's going to dash up and thrust at it with his rapier. I think you do need to make a con save for the heroism, too.
I do?
I think it's a concentration. I don't know. Maybe
Is it
not.
concentration?
I'm going to make my attack while you do that.
I'm looking.
That is a 20, dirty.
That hits.
All right. Because he's in range, I get sneak attack. I do 9 damage piercing with the Red Bull, just thrusting it with the Minotaur horn.
Yeah, he's looking bloodied now. There's this chicken cabra is bleeding from a very large hole in it.
It just says duration is concentration, so is that what it means?
Yeah,
Make a con save?
Yeah,
Okay.
make a con save, and you took 5 damage, so I think you have to beat a 10 is how con saves work.
Oh, okay. Well, I took more than 5 overall because I got attacked twice.
Then you would have to roll twice. Yeah, so the DC equals 10 or half the damage you take, whicher number is higher. So you just have to beat 10
Oh, okay.
twice.
Okay.
Otherwise, heroism disappears.
10 twice. Oh, for each attack.
Yes.
Okay. So first one's a 17. Second one's a 9.
Okay, so then the heroism, like, I immediately, I stab, like, ah! Freak out.
Yeah, you stab into this thing and then you realize you're in front of the gnarliest looking thing that you've ever seen in your lives.
That looks like a Zerg or something. What the heck?
Yeah, it's upsetting. It's upsetting stuff. So.
I don't think that chicken cobra was a apt term for this. And I'm gonna have to have a conversation with that goat. Maybe they've never seen a chicken before.
That could be. They are goats that live in a mountain. So you realize that you've stabbed into a giant horror monster called the chicken cobra, and you sort of lose your cool after that strike.
Oh man, what if the goats just overhear people saying things taste like chicken and the only thing they see is like flesh meat? So they're like, this thing looks like it too.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Up next is Ember.
I don't know what to do. I'm kind of shocked by how ugly that thing is. And the fact that I can't talk to it, because then what is it? I'm very confused and upset. And out of cotton candy.
Looks like a demon to me, so.
Yeah. I guess I'm gonna try to shoot it with my crossbow.
Ooh.
But I would like to light my crossbow arrows on fire first, please.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I feel like it would be a weird dick move to say no to that. So yeah, let's get it. We did boomerang. Let's do crossbow arrows. Yep.
Ember just dips it in like the tip into like the hot toddy and like lights it up.
Just so we're clear, it's hot thotty.
Oh, hot toddy. Sorry, I'm my bad.
Roll for attack. And you have true strike going, right? So you get advantage.
So 17?
Yeah, 17 hits.
8.
8. Okay, go ahead and roll a d4 for me. For that
Sweet fire damage.
Oh, yeah.
2.
Plus 2, 10 damage. Ooh. It is on death's door. You set parts of this chicken cobra on fire and really hurt its feelings with the naming being inaccurate. and it's looking super, super rough.
Just smells like El Pollo Four Loco in here.
Anything else you want to do on your turn, Ember?
No, I think I'm good.
Awesome. Okay, great. And then up next in the initiative, we are back to Delta.
Oh, how fun. I think I'm... How far away? It's like close, right?
It's close enough. Yeah, it's been doing like physical attacks. I think it attacked you, actually. So,
okay.
Yeah, it's in your face and I'm right next to you.
Okay. So I'm going to try to attack it, thinking back to when I missed the skeleton, and I'm going to kind of like try to psych myself up and be like, your worth is not determined by your ability in combat, but your friends are in danger right now. And I'm going to try to hit it. Does a 16 hit?
Absolutely, it hits.
Ooh, that's fun. And then, Daniel, I might need some help with this. Is that 1d8 minus 1? But what's the 1d10 minus 1 below it?
That's if you're doing like a two-handed strike, I believe, with the weapon.
Okay.
Or, yeah, I believe that's how that works.
So here's what I'm going to
not.
tell you, Delta, is based on this monster's HP, call your shot.
Well, hold on.
He could roll a 1 and do 0 damage.
That's true, because it's 1d8 minus 1.
Okay.
He could do nothing.
All right.
I didn't, though. I got so it's a 6 damage.
Yeah, Delta, call your shot.
Okay, so I'm going to, feeling kind of banged up from that last attack, I'm going to draw my longsword. I'm going to swing at it, and I'm going to say words of affirmation as I'm doing it. That are just like, you are a good person, and doing bad things sometimes doesn't make you bad. And if you have to fight a chicken cobra to save yourself and your friends, then that's fine.
And you're just hacking into this thing in between every sentence, just really going to town. And you have defeated the chicken cobra and its smaller counterpart that were haunting the cave. So you're now out of initiative order.
I go in its mouth and pull out a shirt.
Yeah, you get a little tatter of shirt out of its mouth.
Mm-hmm.
You do still hear a faint baaing of goats somewhere.
I go in its mouth and look for the baaing of goats.
It's definitely not coming from inside of the body.
Sorry, guys, it's not in here. I can't see. I thought that was a cave.
I put lights up for everybody.
It's a lot of energy drinks.
Your brain is so fried.
There's so many energy drinks.
Ask the goats if they can walk or if we have to find a way to...
So you yell that in goat through the cave, and they're like, we're down here. We've fallen, and we can't get up.
Do you still have the clothes on?
One of us does. They did a weird thing, and they undressed the other one.
Are you going to live?
I mean... I don't know if the other one will. He's not talking so much right now. I'm I'm bleeding, but I'll probably be fine. Is this conditional? Are you not gonna save me if I'm dying?
Can you possibly put the clothes on your head and like toss them up to us?
So you're not gonna come help us.
I didn't say that.
No, but it feels like you're not gonna say.
I didn't say that.
So what are you saying?
I just need to know if I have to bring 2 goats up or 1. So if you can toss the clothes up, that saves me time.
Should I fight the other one? He's sort of unconscious.
You said he was dead.
Yeah, he might be. For all I mean, he should be. I can make it so. Then you just have to have 1 goat in clothing. Don't leave me down here. It's very dark.
But can you toss the clothes up?
I don't want to do this thing that make a animal handling check.
19.
Okay, you seem on the level. I'm gonna trust you.
Oh my god.
And you
I
hear
appreciate
shuffling
it.
noises, and you see from the dark shadows as it tries several times to throw the clothing up in the air off of its head before they finally hang like on a nearby ledge. Are you gonna come save me now?
I go get all of the clothing.
Yeah, so you now have all of the clothes.
And then I like look down in the dark and make sure that there's nothing left. I don't see anything else.
Nope, you just see like pretty far down. You do see like a goat looking up in the dark at you.
Okay, we can go now, you guys. They're both dead.
We're still that far.
I can hear.
Yeah, he told me he's not going to make it, and that's okay if we leave him.
Okay. Oh, I don't speak goat, but I could understand
Yeah,
that does feel
it's
like the vibe he's giving off.
Devastating, but I mean,
You're
when
all
you
talking a lot up there. Are you going to get rope? I bet you're going to get rope. I'll just wait here for you to come back with some rope.
Mhm. Sorry, I don't speak goat.
What do you mean? You obla goat.
Did she say that in goat?
You awful goat.
You just said that in goat. What do you?
Time to go.
Okay.
So you leave the chicken cabra cave with all of the clothes left, and you make your way down the mountain, and you do see Pebble there waiting for you, having already undressed all the other goats, and he is handing the clothing off to other interns of the games that are taking them presumably to go put them on the skeletons and wrestle them down, the ones that they can find.
Where's the goats? Did you get them? I see you've got the clothes. There's a lot of blood on those clothes.
Yeah, unfortunately, they did not make it. It was a very sad situation.
They were dead?
Yeah, they put the clothes in the nests. Very weird.
Make a deception check.
19.
Oh man, I don't even want to roll for it.
Yeah.
What is it?
That's a 10.
You hate to see it. A good scapegoat gone too soon. 2 of them, no less. That was a lot of money. I would have given a lot of gold to have those 2 back, but I guess that's where we are now. So that's
Oh,
fine.
man, I
Thank
could use
you
that
for your
gold.
help.
So
Well, you're out of debt
unfortunate.
now.
I am out of debt.
You also can go get the Amex from the guy in the room.
I did. I used it up already, and it's really heavy. I can't really carry it. No wonder, like, only certain people can get accepted for these cards. Their strength score must be out of this world.
Honestly, I'm sort of glad that we stopped him in all this nonsense because apparently what he was doing was Radley was going to dress the goats as the athletes from last year and then reenact their final race so that it went over without them dying, which feels offensive and not like a good opening ceremony for the games. So glad we could get this figured out.
I'm super disappointed we missed that.
Radley seemed like such a thoughtful young man. I can't believe he would come up with an idea like that.
Cat, really?
Seems like right on the nose, actually.
Yeah, that's like pure Radley right there. That's
Mhm.
wow. Is she the smart one? Is that
Why does everybody keep asking that?
I don't know. You definitely have better grades than I do.
You're not in school.
And so
Excuse
we wrap on our adventure. You have rescued the goats. You have figured out what caused the raising of the dead, and the weekend of the Numen Games commences, and things go off without a hitch. Fantastic job, everybody. This concludes our adventure. Thank you for playing with me and playing on that stuff. Things went a little bit longer, but not a whole lot longer than I thought they would. So
Thank
that's
you.
cool. Yeah. I hope you guys had some fun. I would love to get into some Hearts and Wishes, the segment of the show where we talk about the things you liked, the things you didn't like, and talk about my goals again. Did I hit the things that I intended to do? And I think most of these are not up to me except for time management, which I just know I didn't nail. So that's cool. That's fine. I was happy to let some stuff go on differently. But beyond that, let's start with maybe just a chat with Justine. I mean, how was your first D&D game with us?
Oh, it was so fun.
Awesome.
Yeah, I really liked it.
So I wanted to make sure it was like accessible and not like an overload of information. Did you feel like you had like enough support with everybody to be able to get through making decisions and figure out how you wanted to interact with the scene? You didn't seem like you actually had any problems with that. You knew exactly that you wanted cotton candy. So
Cotton candy and murder goats.
I think the fact that like you can just kind of do whatever you want was really helpful because I had no idea how to utilize any of the things within the character. Like,
Hear that, D&D Beyond? Fix your UI.
honestly, yeah, solid review.
Never sponsor us. Great.
I don't know that it like if a piece of paper would have helped because I know like Killian has pieces of paper,
Yeah.
but I don't think it would have. So like I don't know
It's
that
still
it's
a
so
lot to
much
look
the
at.
as much as like I don't know what I have to roll for. I don't know what I can and cannot do. Like, and I don't know.
Honestly, with the paper, it's still just as confusing.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
gonna say I don't think that would have helped me any more than having it. It's just more of it seemed like Daniel, because you played so many, like you
Yeah,
were
I'm just a
even
nerd
able.
with no life. Yeah, that's fine. That's me.
No, I mean that's a good thing that you just knew what some of the spells could and could not do with it. So I think that some of that just takes so much time and there's so much to it. So
Yeah, for sure.
And
Thank
it
you.
wasn't crucial to this adventure. Like I think it was the
No.
right level of stuff for you to get to just try out
yeah,
the
and
roles.
you guys were really helpful. So
Awesome. Any hearts and wishes for you? Like moments that stuck out as like, oh, this was fun or entertaining, or I wish that something different had happened here, or Josh, that DMing was bullshit there. That rule call you made was not good. Like any of that is fine.
no, I loved it all. It was a lot of fun. I had a great time. I would say I really liked the fact that like there were animals. I was a little worried when I picked that there weren't going to be animals that I could talk to, and that I loved the fact that the games were nonsense. Like that they made no sense.
Yeah.
The motivation for the crimes made no sense whatsoever.
Yep.
I would say
Love it.
for me, I wish that I would have been more comfortable playing with my character more. And I wish that when Shay started playing all the instruments, that the other skeletons also came down from the mountain to the noise.
Oh, that would've been
That would have been
good.
so cool. That's a good wish.
Mhm.
Hell yeah. Awesome. Well, that's fantastic. You had a great first game. I thought you did a lot of really fun character stuff. And if there's things you want to do more of, we'll get them next time. With that, Shay, let's pivot on over to you, sir. How are things? Hearts, wishes?
Yeah, super fun session, super fun story. I always just love, I love the role play and the playing around. So enjoyed that a lot. I think one of my big hearts was Daniel calling me out on the deception thing.
Yeah,
because that created a really fun ongoing joke.
Yeah.
So I like that a lot. And then actually, Justine, I thought like your character work was great just the whole time. Like you had a very distinct character.
Oh, yeah.
Like all of your choices really followed it up
So
to
locked in.
leaving the goats behind at the very end, just because you're like, it's not my problem. Like it was great. And full disclosure for anyone listening, Justine is my wife. So I'm not
What?
just saying. So I'm not just saying this because like I love her. Just really, really great like first session. It was awesome.
Totally agreed. Any wishes?
My one wish was that I had prepped a little bit more. I've never been a bard before, and I didn't add any spells before the session. That's why when we were in the cave, and I was like, oh yeah, I have mending because I forgot to add my spells prior. And I was sitting there like, Daniel has a lot of spells as feelings. Why don't I have any spells?
It's tricky stuff.
I'm
Yeah.
just making stuff up. I'm lying the entire time, and Josh is just running with it.
Yeah, honestly, anybody who knows anything about D&D listens to this podcast and like, that Daniel guy is getting away with murder. So, hey, that Daniel guy, do you have any hearts and wishes?
Yeah, I'm that Daniel guy. Yeah, I have a lot of hearts and a lot of wishes. Start off with the heart. Great job DMing for someone new. I think the expectation when playing with like a new player is that they shouldn't know all the spells. They shouldn't know how to like use the system or the UI. That's normal, right? Because you're coming into something brand new. And it was very smart of you to have like their character sheet up while you're going through it. I mean, that's pro right there. Like when I do that at cons, like I always have to have their character sheets ready to go just in case. So good job on that. Hearts on that. Game was super fun. I love the flavoring of the Numen Games and accepting what we brought to the table and joining in and then just pivoting and seeing that like we didn't like the Nepo baby and we didn't want to take a quest from him, and just pivoting to Pebbles helping us set that up. It was a very smart choice. Great heart. Big hearts right there. But overall, like, it was super fun to play, and I had a great time.
Awesome. Yeah, I got to say the same thing. So for my hearts and wishes, fantastic new player to the table. Like, just even like, as if you had told me you had played a couple of sessions before, I definitely would have believed that. And you were just like a fun, engaging role player with us, Justine. So thanks for being silly with the team. Invited back anytime. The deception reference, God,
So funny.
It's so funny. Leaving the goats, also a really big heart for me. Also the cat and candy bit, really, really fun. Max in the background trying to find the flying squash. That was very fun. For me, it was interesting to watch because it was a game of who is going to discover the clues first. Is it the people talking to the guy or the guy digging in the snow with the bodies? And it could have worked either way, but I really enjoyed how you guys put the details together too of the things that you found. It seemed, at least to me, the way you were playing, like something definitely clicked and you're like, this is the fucking thing. This is what fucking happened. And it was nice that the right thing came to your conclusions. And so I just really enjoyed getting to experience that as the DM. I was very happy, I think, with the play balance. It seemed like there was a fairly even like management between everybody getting to participate. Wishes wise, I wish that I had maybe simplified some of the story. Things went a little bit longer, but I did just really want to use the chicken cabra thing. So I was very
That's also fair, man.
Yeah.
Like, that's
So,
DMing. Sometimes you just want to throw something in there. But yeah, no, big heart on the mystery. Like, that's really tough to run. Like, I ran that Call of Cthulhu thing a little while back. It's hard to really get your players in on the clues and be like, this is the thing you need to think about.
No, it felt like an escape room. It was fun.
Yes.
awesome.
I
Didn't
think
it
that's
all
a-
like that? They all, like, it felt like an escape room. I loved
A
it.
good escape
Like
room.
not a Groupon escape room, you know,
Like an
a good-
escapology escape
Yeah.
room. Not sponsored.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. Yeah, it's hard. Like I was intimidated after you ran that Call of Cthulhu session, Daniel. Like it's hard to do like an actual mystery thing. So I wasn't sure how to.
I have a whole blurb on that I'm going to record and add in at the end of that episode. Just don't worry about it.
Fantastic.
Cut this crap. Wish. I do have one wish, though. I would like to hear everyone's epilogue on what happens to their characters.
Yeah, let's go around the table and hear about. I want to hear how you all spend the weekend. What do you get up to for the games, the Numen Games, and then like what happens afterwards? Let's get into it.
Yeah, I'll go first. So Delta, with all the craziness behind, goes to watch the water polo tournament and really kind of witness the use of the temperature regulator, and realizes very quickly that it does not work. It overcorrects and actually
That's not
turns like boils the water and all participants inside, and then he spends the next 6 months embroiled in a horrible legal battle.
Oh,
And Numen Games would like to just confirm that we are in no way liable for the materials that were supplied for the games this year, and we don't expect that anything like that's going to happen next year.
And during the trial, he gets himself in serious trouble when he keeps trying to claim that he was using deception.
I love that.
And every time Max in the back of the courtroom goes, "That's not what it is."
Awesome. Ember, what is your epilogue? How do you spend the weekend and the months that follow?
I also watched the water polo, but it while it went the opposite way I was expecting, just as fun to experience. I think that was the moment that Delta realized we were probably not compatible. Although I realized at the moment that he was made of water and I was made of fire. I don't know if he realized the mechanics weren't going to work, but he was a very sweet guy. And then I caught a different ride back because he was depressed.
Oh, dang. Just a little wet blanket.
And made sure that Max knew that he could get a new job. I don't know if he did. And then made sure to leave before anybody there found out I wasn't actually a student and moved on to a new college town.
Awesome. So Ember just abandons her friends and starts a new life. And after a fun weekend at the Numen Games. And then what does Maximilian get up to?
Yeah. During the weekend, he has a great time. With the encouragement of Ember, he does get a new job. There's another sponsor there at the games called Slice Co. And he gets, he starts working for them, selling their branded daggers throughout. Turns out not a great choice in life. And Delta tells him afterwards about it, kind of waking him up to that situation. And because of that, while he is in his third repeated year of junior year at Shadow Bay, he goes and joins the Temple of Torm, making some good friends and getting into theater and really turning his life around.
I see. Okay, right on. And then they all lived some way ever after. Awesome. This has been so fun. Does anybody have anything you want to plug or talk about or shout out before we wrap things?
I'd love to plug one shot at a time.
Yeah.
We haven't done an episode in forever, but yes.
Just be on the lookout because you never know.
That's true. One shot at a time. That's also the way that they. Never mind. I don't have a good joke for that. Fuck. Yeah. One shot at a time.
Go ahead, Josh. What
Go
were you
ahead.
going to say,
Go what?
Josh?
Go what?
What were you going to say? Hmm?
I actually was hoping I was going to think of something in the moment as I was talking, and nothing came to me. So
I feel that.
One more part I really like.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh my God.
dope. I should have, instead of, that's another wish that I had. Instead of rolling for the coins, I should have just given you each like 4 or 5 coins or something. But oh well. That's okay. Maybe we'll see Numen Beverages again at some point in the future. But
Yeah, how old is Brother Pebble?
it's an interesting question. Yeah.
This is crazy.
You know, gnomes can live up to 500 years.
Holy shit.
This is, you saw him when he was younger, and yeah. His scapegoating days, yeah. Thank you, everybody, for listening to this episode of Crash Course DM. We record new episodes for you every other week on YouTube and your favorite podcasting platform of choice. Word of mouth is our best friend right now, so please tell your friends, your family, and your enemies all about the show. And we'll catch you here in a couple weeks.
Bye.